Welcome back to Canada, everyone, and this is ALR Silver. And well, hopefully it can't be any worse than last night, can it? Goodness me, and goodness gracious, I could all hear myself as well. Yeah, so it can't be any worse than last night after all the problems I had with the old interweb and all that kind of stuff. But don't worry, I have made my presence felt over in Sky, and yes, they will be fearing my wrath. Anyway, I think that we need to be more concerned about who's going to be fearing the wrath of the Silver drivers tonight, and let's take a quick look at who is top of where and who is bottom of where. Well, before I do so, we got Dan Murphy saying morning, love you. Hello, Sean from Ayrton. Dan misses me already, and evening from Sam as well. So at least we haven't lost some of our viewers after last night's yeah, let's just say garbage of viewing, wasn't it? Don't worry, as I said, there'll be some ramifications, I am sure, as, yep, I have now got to be, I'm sure they got me on the dartboard and all that kind of stuff after my rage last night. Anyway, and enough about me. Well, actually, no, enough about me at all, is it? Because I've also had a Nando's as well to say. That's why I'm in fine Vettel, and looking forward to this track as well. Albeit, we haven't got a full grid at the moment, which is why we're also running late as well. Well, I think we're running late because Dan has been using his, was just washing his hair, wasn't he? He had some head and shoulders on, didn't he? And goodness me, you guys are very very chatty as well. Then Payne's there. Good evening, Payne's at Mumford. Hello, and he is back as well. Of course, the former gold driver who is just in the reserve seat here tonight as well. We've also got Gordo, who unfortunately missed a lot of the action last night, didn't, because of the issues I had. We got Simon saying go away, goodness me, and he's saying go away to Mumford, as it was peaceful without him as well. As Payne's is saying, I'm racing with a sliced finger. Oh goodness me, there. I hope you haven't got a sore finger. We have also got Mumford as well. Sam, everyone gets into qualifying too. Surprisingly, you aren't here. You said I didn't get into Q2 as well. As of course, Dan is also trying to defend himself, as he is not Joe Hart. Goodness me, I would never offend you there, Dan. At least you know how to grab hold of things. Like a steering wheel, which I think Joe Hart would still let that slip through his fingers as well. I hope no one's a Burnley fan here. Anyway, let's take a look at the drivers and the constructors standing, shall we? Dan is leading the championship, but it's down to 29 points now, isn't it, between himself and Infamous Pillars. This is getting very good. It's a very tasty in silver. Potato is back up into the promotion area. He is now in third at the moment. Lovely stuff indeed there for Paynes. Vitor has dropped down to fourth, and he's had a fantastic start to the season. That's really good stuff indeed there. Fifth position is Serious Mushroom. He's gone up one position. Mark Smello had a fantastic last two races. He's not here tonight, unfortunately. He is in sixth position. And down two is Gernman. Down one is Shane. Down one is Ghost. Down one is Wilson as well. Paynes has gone up four positions as well in the driver's standings. In the drop zone at the moment, we have Flea, who almost scored some points last time out, didn't he? We've also we've got King Zone and Razor in the drop zone as well. In the constructor standings, Mercedes are leading 20 points in front of Ferrari in second. Goodness me, it feels like oh goodness me, it's raining, and oh gosh, Sarah, that's a lot of rain there on the camera. I reckon we're going to have some wet tyres on, if I'm not very much mistaken. And oh well, we got someone on intermediate tyres. Only 15 cars in this session. I'm not expecting much action in this first qualifying session then, but hopefully we'll get more in the next one as well then, as interesting stuff indeed. And goodness me, I'm loving this already. Going back to the constructors, Ferrari is second, then we've got AlphaTauri in third position. Racing Pointers up in the fourth, lovely stuff. Haas, Renault, Alfa Romeo, Red Bull, then all status quo. Williams has got in front of McLaren as well as the two of the top British teams in F1 history. Unfortunately, bringing up the rear then in the it's Gordon's retired from the session, bringing up the rear then in the Silver Constructors Championship as well. And that is a lot of rain there, isn't it? Goodness gracious me then. And we're on board now with Baz at the moment, as I'm just taking a look. Then Ayrton is saying that Dan has got terrible dandruff. Oh, I well believe that. Goodness me, he does look like a man that has a bit of dandruff in his hair. I gotta say, I used to have a lot of dandruff in my hair as well. I used to rub my hair and pretend it was snowing. Anyway, we're on board with Baz at the moment. He's coming on the back straight as well. I said, Ayrton's just gone dandruff. Ha 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 ha! I'm loving that. Gordo's saying it's one of its own now, and of course Nando's chicken there. Goodness me, I gotta say, I love it. Todd, it's a lady who wasn't even my order, really. The Deliveroo guy knocked on my door, and I kind of grabbed it, because when it's food, I just grab it without even thinking about it. But of course, it wasn't mine now, so yep. So I got free food as well, because I tried to get back to him, but of course I'm contaminated anyway, because we're all contaminated in these day in history, aren't we? And all that kind of jazz. We're just watching Baz as well now. One of the cleanest drivers in ALR Silver so far, isn't he? You can see, look at the, there's a lot of standing water out there as well. It's going to take a while for this track to clean, to drain. Well, I would say take a while to drain, but Canada's got some fantastic facilities in terms of drainage, hasn't it? Good stuff indeed there. As Gordo has just confirmed that the intermediate tires are actually 0.7 of a second quicker than these wet tires, but this is more of a glorified practice session, isn't it? To start us off here tonight as well. And just taking a look, then Dan is saying there's 16, and Sam is saying there's only 15 on the screen. Now there's 16. I gotta say, I thought there was only 15 as well. So this track is more of so this qualifying session there is going to be one person taking the walk of shame, and who will it be? It's going to be very interesting indeed. There's 2 hours. I think this is the lowest numbers we've had in silver, haven't we? Goodness me, oh, very much near enough. Goodness gracious me, then it's quite unusual there, because silver's usually ones that it starts straight away, and then you can see that the new update there, we've got a lovely rainbow now on the McLaren there. Lovely stuff indeed then as well. And talking of the patch notes, Nina saying, did you see the patch notes address they addressed an issue that they didn't even bother to fix there? Well, that's not looking too good, is it? To be honest, goodness me, not very good at all, is it? As they're just coming out now as well. And of course, we've also had, as Ayrton has just retweeted the ALR Twitter sphere as well. Is it? No, tweet. I don't know, Twitter. Baz is back into the pits and in the McLaren, and as you can see, it's a very difficult pit lane to say least. Here's Mumford, and he's back in familiar surroundings now, isn't he? In the Alfa Romeo. Oh, he's also in the Wall of Champions as well. So he is the first victor of the Wall of Champions, but luckily they built him strong over in Switzerland. He is fast as on 22.747 as well. Remember, we've had a lot of rain affected Canadian qualifying sessions, haven't we? Pillars has gone a 2nd and a 10th quicker at the moment as well. Good stuff indeed there from Pillars, and you can see he's taking a couple of bites of the cherry as well, and before getting on the throttle. Todd then is on the back straight as well. No DRS at the moment, and we're just watching Itchy. Oh, he's gone wide there, and he is invalidated his time as well. We had a lot of drama and incidents last night, didn't we? Albeit a lot of you probably didn't see it then, but of course, if you want to watch the gold race then, and of course you can. It's on the ALR YouTube channel as well, if you do want to watch it. Of course, it doesn't feel as good though, is it, when it's not live, is it? Of course, I love to watch sport live. That's why I used to get up in the morning in Australia. I think that they used to have the Australian Grand Prix around 3 o'clock in the morning, didn't they, when I first started watching it? Luckily they've put the times back now, because I'm an old man, and I struggle to get out of bed at 9 o'clock in the morning, let alone 3 o'clock. Anyway, here comes Itchy then, as he is on and up. Well, he's invaded his time again. FIFA Beefy also back in the car as well. He was in the car last night, FIFA Beefy, and I thought he did a splendid job, didn't he? And let's see what he could do now in this rain affected qualifying session. Paynes has gone 5th fast amount, and then Beefy is out, coming out of the hairpin as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. As Gordo's saying, as Baz is coming into the pits, he is speed. Oh no, what was Gordo saying? No, it was Baz saying, I am speed. There, maybe he's taking off taking his best impression of Lightning McQueen. Then we have also got Ayrton saying that new rainbows on the McLaren. Yeah, lovely stuff indeed there, and it's great to have. And I think that there's also a adjustment on the Williams at front nose cone as well. FIFA comes across the line as well. He goes full fast mode. Lovely stuff indeed. Here comes the championship leader, Dan Murphy. Hasn't won a race, Dan hasn't, since round 3 in Vietnam. Goodness me, he's on a dry spell, isn't he? I bet you they all wish it was a dry spell at the moment, because it's absolutely bucketing it down out there. And goodness gracious me, and there's the full wet tires on for Gurman as well. Gurman, of course, getting promoted from bronze to silver this season as well. I think that he's been very lucky, Gurman has, because he's had 2. Oh, he's locked up the inside front there, and he's got away with that. Goodness me, and I thought that would have been a quarter cut, but Gurman there on his way as well. And I think he lost more in the game, to be honest, didn't he? Because he's in the 23 ones there, and we expect Gurman to be higher than that. Itchy is cruising back to the pits. Murphy is also on track as well, as is Flea. And we've got Nuna saying an issue with the safety car has been addressed. I'm not really sure what the issue was with the safety car, to be honest, apart from I think well, to be honest, if you remember in the Dutch Grand Prix, it was out there for I think it was for Pillars doing a 360, wasn't it, in turn 12, which I got to say was not really a safety car as such, was it? Hopefully that kind of stuff has been addressed, hasn't it? I found the first ever ALR race on YouTube, and Sean sounds so different. I do indeed. I sound very depressed about life, really, don't I? I gotta say it's because I used to commentate at my my old workmate's house, really, and I was trying to be as quiet as possible. And to be fair, when ALR first started, I kind of volunteered, and I've never done commentating before, really. So yeah, there you go. I just thought it'd be quite a good laugh, really. And considering the fact I'm rubbish at controlling these cars, I am rubbish at controlling my mouth as well, really. So yeah, I'm not really sure why I was allowed to go in the commentary box, but I think they was desperate, and then they just haven't been able to find anyone else since then either. And I gotta say, they're going to find someone good internet, aren't they? Flea has gone across the line. It's the slowest of the cars that have set a time so far. Razor has invalidated his time. He's going to have to go around again, unfortunately. So is Itchy as well. I've got a couple of drivers in the pits at the moment, and haven't come out just yet either. We've also got Nunda saying, well, now we need to know, and now we know what to cut there. As Nunda was watching I was going to say Gresman then, German's Haas car as well. As you can see, Itchy is touring back to the pits then. Well, he's also taking a bit of grass there, isn't he? As that Marshall is going to get an arm, is going to get an ache on the arm there, and you can see the two other Marshals there, not really keen on doing much out there either, are they? I've got to say, this rain is absolutely appalling out there, isn't it? The moment we're on board of Razor then, who is on a lap, but he's invalidated his time then, so he's going to have to go around again, isn't he? In the Alfa Romeo as well, as he is coming into the final chicane as well. Let's go on board of Razor, shall we? He now needs to turn his season around. This is his 7th start in ALR Silver this season. He hasn't got any points. He's in the relegation zone. Can Razor get himself into the middle pack as well then, as he's now coming into turn 1 and now into turn 2 as well before accelerating away in the Alfa Romeo. Unfortunately, he spun it! He has spun it there, Razor has, so he's reversing the car, and oh goodness me there, and almost touching the concrete barrier. He's also lost an end plate there, so I've missed that completely. And in a car 99, is that? I'm not. I think Razor got car 99. I think he's stolen. Has he stolen Joe Fidazzi's number? I don't know. I don't know. I'm absolutely confuffled by that. Anyway, Razor there is just on his way as well, but he's having a couple of issues at the moment, isn't he? A couple of dramas there in the Alfa Romeo as well. So I quickly having a look as well. Pronto, Razor. Yeah. So we got a Sebastian Vettel joke. As we're on board with Flea as well. Mumford is back out on circuit as well. It's great to see Mumford back in action, isn't it? Really, because remember in pre-season, this man was lighting up the timesheets. Him and Young Lights was absolutely faboo, weren't they? In the opening exchanges of pre-season, and I gotta say, I was looking forward to seeing Mumford against Milan, against Lights, against Grant, and against Emerson, and I got to say he was pretty quick, but it's just not transpired, has it, in gold? Unfortunately, he is currently down in a. He's only got 1 point in gold as well, as he's unfortunately had to step aside there, as we mentioned last night as well for Mumford. But it's great to see him in action back in ALR, because remember that Mumford's attendance record is absolutely fantastic, isn't it? He only up until this, he didn't even miss a race, did he, when he first made his debut back in Silverstone in season 3 of gold, and yeah, he's been ever present last season. Fantastic stuff indeed then, and almost got a trophy for winning the constructors standings, I wasn't, but Williams got that in the end, didn't they, as they got to the sorry. Looks like garlic bread. To be honest, Nando was probably a bit poisoned, to be honest, I don't really, because I think it was quite, yeah, there you go. Anyway, oh well. What can you do? I got to say, I do have a gut of steel, because I had a ham sandwich every day, and I realised that the ham was like 2 weeks out of date. There you go, though. That's what you get when your housemate is gone for the week. Is I can't look after myself. Says we're on board with Wood. Says he locks up the inside tyre there. Well, I should say the outside tyres, the right front there was locking up there on the 4 wet tyres then, and of course last night we had a sprinkling of rain, didn't we? Went onto the intermediate tyres briefly, didn't they, before going back onto the slick tyres. Wet tyres, they're blue marked as well, and they, of course, if you remember way back when the Pirelli first introduced first into Formula 1, it was the intermediate tyres, wasn't it? It was blue, and I think it wasn't the full wets, it was orange or something like that. It was something like along those lines, wasn't it? Woods then is coming into the final chicane of 13 and 14 as well. They're straight on the throttle, lovely stuff indeed then, and away he goes as well. As Dan is saying all everyone needs to do is set a valid lap, and as Gordo is already out, as he's got a qualifying ban then. Yeah, so everyone just needs to set a lap really, but I think some people are taking advantage of this, as Ghost it's become a ghost. He is out of qualifying now, and he is going to be the first man to be eliminated if everyone sets a time. Oh, and Woods is into the Armco there, and he is not having a good time at all. Razor's back out on circuit as well. Toro Rosso in the McLaren there, and I really couldn't think of a pun there, could I? Toro Rosso there coming out to the chicane as well. Got a couple of retirees then in the pit lane as well. Unfortunately, Ghost has retired, and he will be eliminated along with Gordo as well. And you can see there is Ayrton said a lovely rainbow there on the Toro Rosso McLaren as well. Oh goodness me, a bit of oversteer there on the exit. Lovely stuff indeed then, and I'm enjoying this. It's fantastic stuff. But as a Ghost has a qualifying ban as well then, so yep, and I probably deserve a ban really for not reading the event notes there, really, wasn't it? So there you go. That's why I'm never going to be professional, because I can't even do my homework. So there is Toro Rosso there coming out of the hairpin and down this back straight. If anyone had the Formula 1 1995 game, of course, there was a random chicane put in there, wasn't there? And they won in the Montreal race circuit, wasn't it? And I remember when I first driven that game there, I went ploughing into it. Luckily, the damage model wasn't as good as on this game, so luckily my wing didn't fly off into the stratosphere as such. Toro Rosso has gone third fastly. Lovely stuff indeed. There's a Razor there. Got to say, fight in the car there, wrestling the car, isn't he? As he goes over the line, he has to start a lap as well. Baz has also started a lap then, so they're in close company at the moment then. As he accelerates well. I'm sure I've seen something about the weather from Dan, and let me scroll back up, because I'm sure he said something about it being dry in the race, if I'm not very much mistaken. Rain and quality, but it's fine in the race. Lovely stuff indeed then. So Dan there is let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, in terms of the conditions as well. And so a lot of these drivers are going to be on dry setups here, and the rain I think has eased off, hasn't it? Or yeah, has eased off, hasn't it? But there's still a lot of puddles there off the racing line, so these guys are now going to have to use it. It's going to be like tram lines now, so they're going to have to make sure that they do not go outside of the racing line, otherwise they could be into the wall then. And so I've got to turn my phone up. There we go. I can see what's going on now. And so Baz are coming down then into the hairpin as well. Then we've had some classic races, haven't we, over the years in Canada. I got to say, I love this circuit. I get very excited every year when we see the Canadian Grand Prix pop up. It's been one of those races where it just seems to throw up something or ever, doesn't it? Of course, last season it was Vettel and Hamilton, wasn't it? Where Vettel decided to change the finishing positions out, didn't he? And I think he made a meme. He became an instant meme hero, didn't he? Baz there out to the final turn then, and let's see what Baz can do. Then he comes up to the line, and he goes 10 fastest over 17. What about Razor then? And Razor's coming to the line as well, and I think if he sets a time, he hasn't set a time again. Razor hasn't. All he needs to do is just get around the track, and he will get through, won't he? Of course, because we've got two qualifying bans at the moment, haven't we? And he comes out there with the hairpin. So I got a car on the right hand side there of Baz there, just getting out of the way. Sorry, I'm full of trapped wind at the moment. That's what I get. To be honest, I finished work at 6 tonight, so I'm God, I was eating tea on the go kind of thing, really. What I was going out for tea was I was just going to have a ham sandwich, really, and just get my protein and all that kind of stuff in there in my old system, which is what I really need, isn't it? And I also had a can of Pepsi, which was waiting for me, but unfortunately I dropped it on the floor. So yeah, tough times at the moment, tough times indeed. The stream went bad last night. Dropped my Pepsi tonight, and yep, it can't get any worse, can it? Lovely shot here from behind the suspension, absolutely beautiful. Look at that there. He's taking a lot of curves there, which I got to say is a very recommend it there, but what do I know? I'm just a guy that usually talks rubbish, and when I drive an F1 car, I'm usually nose first into the Armco barrier. As we're just watching Razor coming down the back straight as well. No DRS yet, because it is deemed unsafe. The DRS is disabled when there's weather like this, when there's moisture coming from the sky, and there's a lot of moisture coming from the sky at the moment, isn't there? And here comes Razor coming over the line. He sets a time. He is 14 fastest. Lovely stuff indeed there. Itchy there is coming into the hairpin as well. Brilliant stuff indeed there. As Gordo is saying, he loves a Gordo is saying he loves a tuna sandwich there. Oh, goodness. I gotta say, I like the sweet corn in tuna sandwich, which I've only just discovered actually in the in recent weeks there from Tesco's there. Of course, when I realised they was out in ham and cheese in Tesco's, I was absolutely raging there. So yeah, that's food is my life. Here comes Itchy. He comes across the line. He goes full fast. It's a good time there from Itchy as well. We got Pillars there saying, how are you, Sean? Hope Nosy has given you some starburst. No, because I'm in the bad books. I think at the moment there's that Renault there is gone very wide coming out of the pits there, and I think it was FIFA Beefy. It was FIFA Beefy indeed there. Yeah, I'm in the bad books there for not feeding my hamster, because obviously he wasn't on his wheel last night, which is why the stream was appalling. We're just watching Woods as he is on an out lap. No, yeah, he's on a quick lap, and he's in Validator's lap in the Renault as well there. Of course, Woods is now a full-time driver, isn't he? Of course, he's been a sub in and out of a sub for ALR for a number of races now, isn't he? I think it was the back end of last season. And Woods, I think, if I recall rightly, was quite a regular league racer, wasn't he? Of course, before he had to pack it up, but he is now. But he's now getting himself back in the league, isn't he? And getting himself back into tip-top shape. He has currently 2 points to his name there in his first 2 races, hasn't he? In ALR Silver then. So let's see what he can do then from here on in then. At the moment, he is just trying to find the limits of the track, isn't he? Just trying to make sure where he can go, where he can't go. Remember, Verstappen did this behind the safety car in Brazil in 2016. And of course, that was the last time that we ever had 2 red flags in one race, wasn't it? Goodness me. It was the 2016 Brazilian Grand Prix. I think we also had 2 red flags in Japan 2014, but unfortunately that was an infamous race which is living long in the memory for me, as of course it was one of the most distressing Grand Prix you'll ever witness. Really was that. Of course, also I think the last time we had goodness me, Woods is in the barrier, and I think he's damaged the end plate there on that Renault. Indeed he has. Look at the water streaming off of that wing there. Goodness me, it's like a monsoon out there at the moment, isn't it? Conditions similar to Canada 2011, isn't it? And of course we had a safety car and a red flag in that race as well, didn't we? Of course we had standing start speed after the red flags these days, which is absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Darren is saying evening on. Good evening, Darren, hope you're well as well. So we got Woods there accelerating out of the hairpin as well, and I've got to adjust my headset because it's fallen off. I've got too much of a big head there. Shame hasn't got a big brain in there. Woods has damaged the end plate, and I'm wondering if he's going to abandon and come back in the pits there. FIFA is very much on the limit at the moment there, isn't he? He is coming into the second chicane as well before accelerating out then. Good stuff indeed there from FIFA Beefy as well. And of course FIFA Beefy, best finish in ALR was actually back in Brazil, wasn't it? When he returned, and I think he was driving in the Alfa Romeo, wasn't he? Of course he kept it clean that night, didn't he? He kept it clean, kept it tidy, and because of that there he got his podium, didn't he? Brilliant stuff from FIFA Beefy, and I think he has shown flashes of brilliance in gold last night. He didn't look out of place or whatsoever, did he? And good stuff indeed there, and hopefully we can see FIFA back in gold in the not too distant future then. So that's the end of qualifying 1 then. Of course, not much of a sting in the tail, so to speak, with Ghost unfortunately out of qualifying, and that is a big shame for Ghost there, but of course he had a qualifying ban. Sorry, I stretched my leg a bit then. There we go. So that is the end of qualifying 1 then. Hopefully this rain will abate then, but I've got to say I quite enjoy seeing the drivers there really put themselves to work there in these appalling weather conditions out there at the moment. Goodness me, the weather is good for ducks, isn't it, rather than any of these cars at the moment, and maybe you might need a canoe to get down the circuit at the moment. Goodness me, it's absolutely appalling weather, isn't it? We are now counting down to the end of qualifying 1, because qualifying 1 is done and dusted then. We are going into qualifying 2 in just a few moments. Because of this wet weather, we will not see, as far as I'm concerned, the dry weather tyres then, which means that there will not be any there will not be any strategy to play for in qualifying 2. Whether you like that or not, that kind of takes away a bit of the old excitement, isn't it, for qualifying 2? But at the same time, though, it's going to be interesting to see what it would bring for the race as well. Remember, last night's race was brilliant. It really was. There, as I rub it in again, and I'm just giving you a quick, just trying to nudge you into the way of watching last night's race, because it was a good race. There was a lot of instance, wasn't there? And there was a lot of fallout as well. Of course, we'll catch you all up with all of Gold's events there next week. And where are we next week, I hear you ask? Well, of course, we are in France, and the centre of France, stuff like that. I know it's in Paul Ricard then. Probably the least favourite track on the calendar, to be honest, isn't it? Or, unless you really don't like Monaco or Azerbaijan. But I got to say, France for me, not the most exciting track in the world. It's alright to drive on, I suppose, but yeah. I got to say, I'm not expecting many safety cars in France, but of course, that is France. This is Canada. I am expecting a lot of safety cars near. Over the years, we've had so many now. I think we had 4 in 1999, didn't we? And that was a cracking race, wasn't it? I think that's when it was really dubbed the Wall of Champions, wasn't it? We had Damon Hill in the wall, we had Jacques Villeneuve in the wall, we had Michael Schumacher in the wall as well. So I think that, remember, all those 3 were champions at the time as well, weren't they? Jenson Button was in the wall as well back in 2005. Of course, that was a horrific year for Jenson Button, wasn't he? BAR got disqualified from 2 races there for let's just say a bit of some dodgy rule breaking there, wasn't it, after the San Marino Grand Prix. So that's why then Button was banned from, I think it was, wasn't it from the Nürburgring and Monaco, if I'm not very much mistaken? I think it was, because I'm sure he was in the commentary box on Monaco Grand Prix, wasn't he? I don't know. Anyway, out of qualifying is Ghost and Ghost Recon and Razor. Both of them got qualifying. No, Razor, I don't think Razor has, but Gordo is out of qualifying as he's got a qualifying ban. I think Razor's also out of qualifying as well, goodness me. As we are now coming into the second part of qualifying as well. Blair's has said then that my worst track in real life is that I hate Russia. I gotta agree with you there, Gordo. I'm not a big fan of Russia either, and unfortunately that's if there was any track in 2020 that you probably wouldn't mind being cancelled, I think it would have been Russia. France and Russia would have been the two that I would have cancelled personally, but I suppose we're getting Formula 1 action nonetheless, aren't we? So sometimes beggars can't be choosers, can they, so to speak, as we're going into qualifying 2 as well then. Also we've got Flea saying Monaco and Singapore worst tracks in my opinion there. So Flea is not a fan of the old street circuit, is he? But I think that Flea last time out had a fantastic race, didn't he, in Baku? And of course he was very unlucky not to get his first points of the season then. So hopefully Flea there can get himself on the scoreboard here tonight. I think he's the only Red Bull in the race as well. So then, all of Christian Horner's hopes and dreams rests on Flea's shoulders. Out of the pits comes Pillars, and the rain is horizontal now. Goodness me, this is appalling weather, isn't it? Goodness gracious me, it's raining cats and dogs out there now. And it says intermediate tyres on Pillars, and it was 7/10 of a second quicker. Gordo was saying in qualifying 1 then, this is going to get very interesting then for qualifying 2, isn't it? Is that Pillars then is going to really ride the rain, isn't he? In this qualifying 2 session on those intermediate tyres. Of course, they got shallower grooves, haven't they, than the wet tyres. I think we might even have to get the old monsoon tyres out, of course, which I think they had them back in the late 90s, didn't they? I'm sure they had them in 97. I don't think they used them in 97, really, did they? Wasn't much wet weather running in 97, wasn't it, apart from Monaco. Of course, we also had a late shower, didn't we, in the French Grand Prix? And I gotta say, one of the shots that really lives with me actually in football is when he was on board with Schumacher going through the I think it was the 130 corner in the Manicours. I think that was what it was called anyway. But yeah, and of course we was on board there with the side cam of the Ferrari, and there was an absolutely fork of lightning that really struck in front of him. It was fantastic, it really was. Good action there and good excitement indeed there. As Darren saying that Silver, best league, best connection too. Yes, indeed, of course, I've got out my old cable tonight as well, just in case then, as I was very nervous tonight. I gotta say, I was quite nervous. I had to change my socks, my feet are that sweaty. As Pillars coming out of the final turn, and he is about to start his lap as well. Reaper saying, in the game, I love France and Russia. I gotta say, that's very interesting. I love it. That's what I love about this sport. About you guys, it's all about diversity, isn't it? And of course, whether you love Australia, whether you love France, whether you love Germany, which is not in the game at all either. It's really good stuff to see that. I really enjoy your opinions there, and I'd like to hear who else likes what kind of tracks. And whether it's Pass or President Pillars, goodness me! I was about changing my socks. I think Pillars will have to change something else after that wiggle. Oh, goodness gracious me! But he's still on track there. He hasn't got damage to the Ferrari, so he's onwards and upwards. Lovely stuff indeed. Then, as Nunes also agreeing there, he's saying, "What's wrong with Russia? Russia is brilliant on the game." Then I just don't go well around there. Really, I'm usually in the wall at the end of turn 2. And of course, if any of you lovers of football will realise that I haven't even broke before getting into turn 2. So how do I do that? Well, it's a special ability I have. We have got Marcus Rashford there at Nunda. Are you racing? As Nunda is not racing, I don't believe it. In this session, we have got. We've got Gordo saying, yeah, on the game it's decent, but I hate it in real life, then. And as Nunda saying, haven't seen you and yours, Marcus, as well. Nigel saying, rain looks good. Of course, as Nigel had a bit of a disappointing race last time. Pillars has invalidated his time, and it's going to have to go for the second bite of the cherry, isn't he? From McLaren, and now starting a lap as well. What about Flea, who's also on the intermediate tyres as well? And he's also invalidated his time, and he's also steaming straight back into the pits there. And he is done and dusted. Then what about Woods then? Woods is coming into the final chicane as well, then hopping over those Hook it over those curbs as well then before accelerating away. Let's see what Woods can do then. He's the first man to put a time on the board. He's done a 23 then on the foot weather tyres then as well then. Just probably a banker so far then. Intermediate tyres, Murphy has gone 2 seconds quicker then, so the intermediate tyres are the way to go, albeit the track conditions don't look that way, does it? Goodness me, that's bravery at the utmost there, isn't it? From the front two men of Gurman and Dan Murphy. Incredible stuff indeed then. McLaren is coming out to the line as well. I think his Bass starts up here. Indeed it is then. V Todd then is accelerating out. Now we've also got Payne starting this lap as well. We'll leave him to it for now as we're on board then with the racing point of V Todd. V Todd's had a fantastic start to this season as well, hasn't he? He has been very much on the money, hasn't he, V Todd has. Last season he was such a good qualifier, but the race was a very good qualifier, just didn't able to finish the races, but this season he's turned it around. A good qualifier and racer as well, love it. And the Racing Point team are a good package, aren't they? As we've got a Ferrari of Pillars there who's taking a second bite of the cherry, but once again he's invalidated this time again. Pillars has. That's not good at all then. So what about Tormar Rosso? He's also invalidated as well. We are seeing why it's such a difficult track, isn't it? The trap map does look quite simple, doesn't it, really? But it's really not, is it? Because you've got to tame the curbs, you've got to tame the race circuit as well. It's Tormar Rosso there, hasn't tamed anything there, goodness me, as he's gone straight across into turn one. Luckily turn one, there used to be a big tree, didn't there? And just after turn one, I think it was back in the 80s, wasn't it? But goodness me, it's not there anymore, is it? As we got Blair said, sorry, Gordo saying as if Toy got some toy and yeah, good stuff from Gordo. I can't read that. Oh, and Baz has gone into the wall. As he damaged the end plate, we've got yellow flags floating. It's the second McLaren is also torn back. No, goodness me, not good at all then. What about Paynes there? Paynes has come out to the line. Paynes has gone third fast. It's good stuff indeed then. Serious Mushroom then. It's having a second bite of the cherry now as well. And oh, goodness me, there is he is also having to correct the car. Lovely stuff indeed there from Mushroom, I should say. Comes over the line and Sirius goes into full fast as well then, as I was struggling to even read his name off as well. Pillars then, this is third time's a charm for the Ferrari driver, the man who's second in the World Drivers' Championship. Whatever happens today, as we've got Williams jumping over in the third position, whatever happens today, Paynes will not take the lead in the Drivers' Championship, but he can really dent it, he can really make a dent to that championship. As I said, Murphy has not won a race since Vietnam there, goodness me. And there's a lot of people saying that Murphy is going to run away with it as well. Murphy's a top class driver, isn't he? But Pillars and Gurman there are definitely equal to him as well. And don't forget Sirius, don't forget also Potato as well. Potato's not here tonight. Mumford is out as well on circuit at the moment. Now we've got Baz who's invalidated this time as well, unfortunately. As Nuda say, no, I'm not racing, I'm just watching it, and lovely to have your company as well. Murphy there has just gone fastest there in the qualifying session. 8 minutes to go in this qualifying session as well then, as Marcus Rashford is saying good luck all racers. Thanks Marcus. And we got Nigel saying this season is already done for me there, as Nigel there, unfortunately, the former world champion, the man who made his debut here back in season 1, then the man who has won in every single year he has participated in ALR. Nigel has, and of course he's our very own Lewis Hamilton, if he doesn't mind me saying so. Of course Hamilton's the only man to do that in the real world of Formula 1. Fantastic, isn't it? Yellow flag and free. This is one of the Ferraris there, just cruising back to the pits as Mumford is coming down to the airplane as well. Yeah, so Nigel doing a cracking job, isn't he, for ALR over the years as well. Of course, the first ever world champion of ALR as well, back in season 1. Nigel is great stuff indeed, and so hopefully he can really build upon and maybe have a crack at season 5 then for gold. Then of course Nigel's got to make sure he stays out of the relegation zone, doesn't he? First Mumford there coming into the final chicane as well, very close to the arm color. Lovely stuff indeed then. As I was just saying that then Marcus Rashford has just gone peace as well to everyone. So yeah, thanks Marcus, and hopefully we'll see you a bit later on for the race itself. And as the rain is still coming down in Saros at the moment, Mumford has got himself up into a very nice 6th position at the moment then, but we've got 7 minutes to go in this qualifying session. We have still got a long way to go indeed then. As we're just now on board then with Woods at the moment, and he has already set a time on there, but so is Flea as well. But Flea is invalidated, he's got to go around again, and so we're back with Woods at the moment. moment there, coming through the very difficult turn 5 as well. Of course, we had a big smash there between Lance Stroll and Brendan Hartley, didn't they? Of course, also the other crash we had around there was Olivier Panis breaking both his legs there in the 1997 season there. And of course, also in 97 as well, I think Coulthard was robbed of that race win as well, wasn't he? As I think there was an issue in the pits lane, wasn't he? Which cost in the win, didn't it, really? Of course, that season, McLaren could have had so many race wins in there. And it was a really stepping stone, wasn't it, to 98, where McLaren were very good there, of course, winning the drivers and the constructors championship, weren't they, in 98? But 97, you see that the building blocks was definitely in place, wasn't it, with Hakkinen only winning one race, Coulthard only winning 2 in the end. They should have won a lot more. They should have won in Austria, perhaps. They should have possibly have won in the Nürburgring as well, where both McLarens went out literally almost simultaneously when they was leading 1-2. Incredible stuff, wasn't it? Their reliability was not bulletproof, and of course I think the reliability in 99 also almost cost them the championship as well, didn't it? As Woods has gone up into 7 fastest over 7. Indeed, Flea's invalidated again then, so he's going to have to go around the course again, isn't he? But Fleer is now coming up to the chicane as well. He's now breaking down there, and here we go then into the final chicane and accelerating out then, and Fleer is going to have to have another bite of the cherry now. So we're on board Fleer. We've got 4 cars that we need to drop out of this session. We've already lost 1, so we've got 3 cars, which is both McLarens, and which is both McLaren's there. It's out qualifying at the moment. Fleet is out qualifying as well. We've got a bit of is it brightening up for me, or is it brightening up, or is it just me? I think it's just me, isn't it? Probably is, actually, as just now on board then with Fleet and having another crack as well then, as he is now coming through the first part of the lap as well. And Baz is now out on circuit at the moment, and because there's only 16 cars in this race as it stands at the moment, it's a golden opportunity for someone to really take the bull by the horns. And can Flea do that literally and figuratively as well, as he is driving the Red Bull, isn't he, nonetheless? And so let's see what Flea can do then, and hopefully he can get himself some points, where he was so close, wasn't he, last time out in the Baku, wasn't he? So I'm wondering then if he can get to one stage for a result. But Flea was so good in qualifying, and he was very unlucky in the race, wasn't he? Really was there. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time, unfortunately. Flea then is now coming out of the hairpin as well and accelerating up to the final stop of the lap then as well. Then, of course, this used to be a much more faster, kinky straight ahead, wasn't it? Of course, it was all straightened up after the awful events that happened in the 94 San Marino Grand Prix. Flea there just correcting the car there, coming out of the final chicane of 13 and 14, accelerating to the line. This is a good lap for Flea. It's a fantastic lap for Flea, and he is up into second fastest. Great stuff there from Flea. Is that going to be enough to keep him through that? Well, Todd is out on circuit at the moment. Sirius Mushroom has also improved by 1.5 seconds in the second sector alone. Lovely stuff there from the man who is 5th in the World Drivers' Championship in silver at the moment then. On the back straight as well then, and let's see what he can do. Let's see, he is now coming down then into the chicane then. Now accelerating the well then, and he is now coming up to the line as well. Where does Sirius Mushroom put himself? He goes second fast and replaces Flea by 4 tenths of a second. Then, but Flea there once again showing that he has got some pace there in that. Oh, it's a Baz there almost going off the circuit. And what about Vitod? Vitod improves to 7 fastest then. Is the track getting quicker, or are these guys finding time then? It might be a bit of both really. Here comes Baz, who hasn't set a time at all yet, so he can't see what his personal best is at the moment now. With 3 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Yellow flag is in the far part of the course. Pillars has gone faster into the 20.5. Great stuff indeed there for Pillars. Murphy is down to second now as well, as that Williams getting out of the way then as he comes into the hairpin as well then, before accelerating away in car 72 then, and now he is back on the loud pedal as well then. And the rain, I don't think is abating actually, is it? Goodness me, it feels like it's getting heavier out there of course as well. I think we had real heavy rain, didn't we, in this race last season, if I'm not very much mistaken. I don't think it was for silver though. I'm sure it was for gold, as Baz is now coming into the final chicane as well, as we've just seen. I think that was Gurman going out to 4th position. Indeed it was in the Haas. Here comes Baz coming over the line. He goes up into 6 fastest. Great stuff indeed there for Baz. Lovely, very much on the money as well. Payne's down circuit moment. He's on the wet tires. He's the only man on the wet tires. The Williams driver has said, is that going to be a costly mistake then? Everyone else is on the intermediate tires then. Well, we'll soon find out in the not too distant future as well. Toro Marossa there is Just coming into the second part of the lap as well. Where is Paynes there? Paynes has just started his lap then, so we leave him to it for the minute. So we're going to keep an eye on what Tormo Rosso can do as well. Then as he's now coming down into the hairpin as well. And as Gordo saying, can I just say, if it doesn't rain at the Nürburgring, I think we'll never have it rain again in Formula One. I mean, it's November, isn't it, in the Nürburgring? Yes, and indeed it is. Of course, so we've also had some rain affected races in the Nürburgring before, haven't we? This must the top of my head there. 2007, I remember. That was the first. Oh, it's a Toro Rosso. It's invalidated this time. He's going to have to go around again, unfortunately. Of course, just going back to the rain-affected races then in the Nürburgring. Of course, we had a 2007. I think that was the first time that Hamilton didn't score a point in his Formula 1 career. Of course, he had a big old shunt there, didn't he, in qualifying, which put him on the back foot. Of course, the 2000 Grand Prix at the Nürburgring as well. Of course, it was absolute deluge, wasn't it? Schumacher, the Rainmaster, who won that race as well. Tamed the weather, didn't he? As we got Paynes coming out of the final turn, as he tamed this wet weather as well, as he is he's improved there. He's a 22-1 there. Good stuff indeed there for Paynes, and he is currently through. But is he safely through? I'm not really too sure on that. I'm not a betting man anyway. Mumford there is on the cusp at the moment. He's returned to ALR there. Of course, as he's now a super sub, isn't he, in that silver, and he comes up to the line as well. But he's in the familiar surroundings. He's doing a Pedro Della Rosa. He is currently full fast as well. Then lovely stuff indeed. That FIFA is on circuit as well. So is Woods. And Itchy is also dropping down. So is Paynes as well. Goodness me, there is going to be some tears not just from the sky, but in the cars as well. Woods coming out of the final turn, and let's see what we could do then. As now he's coming to the line, and Woods has gone into it fast. It's great stuff indeed. Then what about Itchy? Itchy coming over the line, and we've got another runner there. FIFA's up in the 7th. Itchy's up in the 7th as well, displacing Paynes there. I think it's still going around then. Toro Rosso is he can go around again there. He has got 10 seconds. Look at this. It's going to be all or nothing then for the I was going to say Toro Rosso there, for the McLaren. So he's got one more run left in him then. And what then is Paynes there is very much on the cusp, isn't he? Look at this. He was 4,900 seconds down there, but he could potentially get in front of Woods there. Woods is backed off, and Woods is done then. So it's between Paynes, Woods, and not forgetting Toro Rosso as well. And Paynes there. Oh, he's got up against the Armco there. He might have lost a bit of momentum. Let's see. His aim is a 22-1. He has done it. He's in 10th position by a whisker. As that Mercedes of Murphy also finishes off as well. So Paynes is through by just a whisker. Look at that. Just over a 10th of a second is Toro Rosso. Oh, he's in the barrier, and he is out of qualifying there. Oh dear. Then of course he got on the accelerator too much there, and he's gone into the wall. And Paynes there took a gamble on those wet tyres. Goodness me, but he has gone through. Or maybe it wasn't a gamble there for Paynes, but goodness gracious me, everyone else was on the intermediate tyres there. And Darren saying that left it too late, I think. There's unfortunately Toro Rosso. It's out of qualifying, and that's a shame now, isn't it, for Toro Rosso in the McLaren? He is in the McLaren, but at least he's got the new rainbow on the header there to keep himself entertained. Then, so unfortunately, Toro Rosso is out of qualifying. Then we're just watching Murphy a second in the end of that qualifying 2 session as we go into qualifying 3 in just a few moments. Then. As Gordo saying, Paynes rigging through on the wet tyres, that really worked out for him. Indeed it did. I thought he was on the back foot there, but it doesn't matter what I think, does it? Because goodness me, he is through into qualifying 3. Fantastic stuff there from Paynes as well, as his rain-affected qualifying session continues in just a jiffy as well. Then as we are going into qualifying 3, got 12 minutes then to determine who is going to be on pole position for round number 9 here in the Canadian Grand Prix as well. One of the most exciting races of the season, isn't it? Last night was exciting, and there was a full of drama and action as well. Here's Murphy as well. Then, of course, Murphy, I think, had a fantastic race last night, didn't he? He finished 4th there. Probably could have and should have finished 2nd there if he didn't have some issues at the final corner as well. And I also got to apologise to Drop Fast as well for ignoring him after the interviews, as I was very unhappy chappy. So it's Murphy there. It's just finishing off his lap there, and look at that rain now. It is still coming down in steroids, and I think it's getting heavier out there again then. And goodness me, now are we going to go back onto the wet tyres then? Well, there is no standing water on the racing line just yet. Then as soon as you start aquaplaning, as soon as the car starts getting on top of the water, you have no control, and that means that you'll be in the barrier quicker than a hiccup. I know you certainly don't want to be doing that, do you? And goodness me, it's got very dark outside. I haven't turned any of my lights on, but yeah, I am scared of the dark. Anyway then, so we're just watching Paynes there, who's also just got himself through as well into qualifying 3 on the full wet tyres as well. Good stuff indeed there. And of course Paynes there with a lovely helmet tribute there, celebrating 70 years of Formula 1. Really good stuff indeed. So just as we got Pillar saying squeaky bum time at the top there. Of course it is indeed, isn't it? It's getting very interesting between Murphy and Pillar saying the two Dans battling for pole position, but you cannot count out Serious Mushroom, can you? Who is also in the 20s as well. And I think there's more to come there from the Racing Point driver as well. Then that is the end of qualifying 2, and once again the rain is coming horizontally, isn't it? Past Paynes, goodness me, it is appalling weather out there, it really is. So that is the end of qualifying 2, and it is definitely squeaky bum time. There's the two Dans are literally not only not separated by name and almost not separated by time either. 200ths of a second separates the top 2 at the moment. Fantastic. As we go into qualifying 3, let's just take a quick look at who is out of qualifying then. Woods out qualifying, V Todd out qualifying as well, Gordo and Tormar also. Gordo's got a qualifying ban as well, but yeah, as he said, even with a qualifying ban I've managed to absolutely finesse my way to 13th position as well. I love that, I was saying as well, he's finessed his way to 13th position. Lovely stuff indeed then. Look at that then, we look over the St. Lawrence Seaway then, doesn't it? Of course that's where they usually have the annual RAF race, don't they? I don't think they're going to have the RAF race here tonight, they goodness me, not with those weather conditions as well. Right, we're into qualifying 3 then, and that is not a I was going to say it's not a sprint race, which they were, which Formula 1 are thinking about bringing back after the after what happened in Monza there. I'm not sure if I'm for or against sprint races. Personally, I wouldn't like to see it, but that's because I'm old and I should really be starting using just for men. Grey or whatever it's called. Anyway, then we're into qualifying 3. Then we've got 12 minutes on the clock then as well. Who is going to blink first? And I think I see a Red Bull Mechanics getting very twitchy. Well, they are getting twitched then, but we've got a car out on the front end, and I think that was a Racing Point, if I'm not very much mistaken. I am very much mistaken. It was a Haas of Gertman coming out on the pits now then. He has had 2 pole positions, Gertman has this season. And yeah, he's had 2 pole positions. German has this season. We're on board with him right now, and which is back in Australia and Bahrain. He hasn't been on pole position since, has he? German hasn't. He's had the pace, but he hasn't been able to convert yet. So this is going to get very interesting indeed then. And as Gordo is saying, now, I could you could probably have the RAF race on the track right now. You really could, couldn't you? I think that didn't someone I think they had like built their own RAFs, didn't they, in Japan? Didn't they, one year? Was it? I can't remember who it was, but we had a can of Red Bull, didn't we? And they built a boat out of it. That's I think it was 2014. Was it a 2014 race there? Possibly, I think. And we've also just had paint out. I had inters on. I had inters glitch in Q2. Luckily, I made it through and wet, so that's unfortunate. Of course, so we've had a patch for this game now. So obviously they still patched everything, aren't they? Just as we've heard before in the comments there. And but as Gordo's asking, then it will benefit you in Q3, and asking if he has 3 sets of fresh inter tires. Then German then is on circuit now. Then so of course a fresh tires probably doesn't matter as much in qualifying, does it? Because I'm wondering if they probably topped up these cars now and they're going to go round and round for 2 or 3, maybe even 4 laps there. Just it's all about confidence rather than out and out speed in these wet weather conditions. As you can see, German's not even following the racing line going into turn 1 there. As when you're on the racing line, and you do not want to go over the rubbish there, do you? As a German accelerating out of turn 1 as well. Of course, on the racing line, you've got discarded Pirelli rubber, aren't you? Which is actually slippier when it's raining, isn't it? So, of course, you want to stay off the racing line as much as possible. Possibly going for the karting line out there. Perhaps then, as we've got Forza in the comments there. Hello, Forza. I haven't tuned into Sarah for some time then. Well, you're in for a treat at the moment then, as we'll update you on the standings in just a jiffy as well. German then accelerating out of the first chicane. Sorry, it's the second chicane, isn't it? Of course, the red lights are mandatory in these wet weather conditions as well, isn't it? Looking up the inside front there. I love watching German. He's absolutely fantastic. Oh, goodness me, as a bit of rubbish there, having to correct the car, isn't it? As he is now coming down into the hairpin as well. German there, having to correct the car there. Correct the slide there in car 25. As he now comes out of the hairpin as well, accelerating away. Remember, in the race there, the weather is meant to improve dramatically, isn't it? So a lot of these guys have the dry setup on, don't they? Which means they're suffering now. But race is where the points are, isn't it? And of course, you get 25 points for a race win. And you get a bonus point for the fastest lap as well. Maybe should you get bonus point for pole position? Well, that is a debate for another day and for another session then. German is coming over the line as well. Of course, he's hugging the inside there, and he has gone into pole position at the moment. Lovely stuff indeed then. Murphy is the next man on the track then. He is coming into the final part, into turn 14, out of turn 14, as sweeter than that then, as he is coming across the line as well, and Murphy goes into fastest there, 10th for a second in front of German. What about the Williams then? The Williams is now next then, but looks like he's starting us up. But Mumford has gone into a 21-4 at the moment then, in the Alfa Romeo as well. Then Cirrus Mushroom has gone to the 20s again then, so Cirrus Mushroom, some pace there. And then we've got McLaren there of Baz that is coming over the line as well. Of course, his teammates out qualifying, but he's 5th fast at the moment then, Baz is. Payne's there at the moment and is on a quick lap now as well. He's the first intermediate split time is a 23.6. Lovely stuff indeed there for Payne as he accelerates out of the chicane as well. And now on the back straight. Of course, you normally have DRS and you'll see that DRS open in the race, won't you? Unfortunately, you will not see it in qualifying now then, as it is absolutely pouring down with rain out there. And it is it's a very difficult time out there indeed, isn't it? To say the least there as well. So I just had a comment on the old YouTube there, but I can't see it. Anyway, then is Payne's there is coming out of the hairpin as well. There he is, and then behind him is one of the Alfa Romeos as well. Payne's there is not going to be too interested in Mumford though, is he? Of course, no offence to Mumford, but he's on an in-lap. Payne's is on an out-lap, and of course, I'm wondering actually, Mumford might be on a quick lap as well. On board with Payne's, he is coming up into the chicane as well, and he is breaking down then into the final chicane as well. They're going over the curbs and accelerating away. Murphy has gone faster still then, and of course there are people carrying on. There's also Ferrari behind us as well. Payne has gone into 6th fastest. What about Pillars? He is only 4th fast at the moment. Goodness me, Murphy has really lowered the benchmark, hasn't he? Goodness me, if this was a limbo game, well, I gotta say, you'd have to break your back to get under that time. That's incredible stuff there from Dan Murphy. 7/10 of a second in front of German at the moment. Wow, he has definitely moved the goalpost, hasn't he, which you are not allowed to do in football, but goodness me, Murphy could do whatever he wants in Formula 1. Fantastic performance from Murphy. What is Pillars doing? Well, he's a second and 2/10s down in the first intermediate split time as well then, so I'm wondering then if he is just to get himself sorted and going for another lap in just a few moments time. So just on board now as well, as we've got Payne's there on track as well. We're on board with Payne's then. Let's see what's intermediate split time can do now. Lovely stuff. He's a 10th for a second up then. Where is that going to put him? I could put him in front of Baz actually in 6th position, which is currently the man who's renting that spot at the moment then. Payne's there coming out of the hairpin now. He's accelerating down the back straight then as well. He has got one braking point to go, 2 more corners, and unfortunately for him there, it's the infamous 13 and 14 with the Wall of Champions waiting for him at the exit. Payne's there, lovely stuff indeed. Murphy has gone faster still. Murphy has gone faster still. Goodness me, Dan. He is going to have to slow down. He's going to have a speeding ticket. As Payne's has gone by half a second quicker as well. Fantastic stuff there from Payne's then. Murphy is on song at the moment, isn't he? Goodness me, he's in the groove, isn't he? He's got a lot of fuel on board in that Mercedes as well. And this man is on pole position then. This will be his only his second pole position of the season. Remember, his Vietnam winner is his last pole position and also his last race win as well. So Dan there, goodness me there, he's very much on song here tonight, isn't he, in the Mercedes? Brilliant stuff indeed then. Alhan has just made a very controversial comment there. Pillars is too slow. Oh goodness me. Oh, it's so slow I should say there. He is down in 4th position at the moment, isn't he, with Murph there. Is really out in front there, isn't he? He is really the benchmark. He's 2/10 of a second up again. Murphy is, he's going to lower. He's going to be in the 19s in these appalling conditions. Car 22, Murphy's, he's traditionally number 14 tonight. He is 22, and goodness me, and that lucky number, that changing lucky number there is very much putting him on a pedestal now, isn't it? As Forza saying, it's a 119 for sure. As Murphy now coming into the final chicane as well. Then look how neat and tidy it is. So calm in the cockpit, isn't it? But goodness me, there on the time, and it is absolutely electrifying. It's a 19. Oh my goodness me, he's almost 9/10 of a second in front of the next place man, German. He has blown him out of the water. Goodness gracious me, Murphy is on pole position as it stands with 4 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Wow, that is absolutely immense stuff from Murphy. Is he going to carry on out there? Is he going to put on a fresh set of intermediate tyres? Wow, I'm absolutely in absolute shock and awe by that. He's a second down now as he has started to back off slightly. Goodness me, that was incredible, wasn't it, out there? Absolutely fantastic stuff. As Gordo's saying, that so much for Murphy not being that strong on this track then. Well, I'm wondering now if it might be the weather as well, because but I've got to say, Murphy was very strong last night on this track as well. Mumford has invalidated his time, hasn't he? So he's going to have to go around again, unfortunately, for Mumford's point of view then. But yeah, I got to say that Murphy has really been, he's in his own postcode at the moment, isn't he? Murphy is, goodness gracious me then. And I got to say, he might be in, I think think he's in Toronto compared to everyone else then at the moment. That's incredible, isn't it? That's the amount of distance he's in front of the rest of them at the moment. He is, well, I gotta say, he is really, if there was ever a mic drop, that was certainly it, wasn't it, from Dan Murphy. Goodness gracious me. As we are now coming to the end of qualifying as well then, so who is going to be where then in the end of this qualifying? Gurman has started his lap as well, and let's take a look to see what Gurman's doing. Murphy is in the pits then, as it's a thousandth of a second slower. Gurman is very much on the money at the moment. Is he going to the edge of the track as well then? Gurman is then, and we are now preparing for the race, and the final countdown is on then for the Canadian Grand Prix for silver, round 9 then of silver as well, as he's coming out of the chicane as well. Gurman then are on board of him now then as well into the second sector as well. He's 2/10 of a second up there. Is this qualifying session over? No, and then it's not over until the time ticks down to 0, till the checker flag is out and fluttering in the very wet breeze of Montreal, isn't it? Here in the Gilles Villeneuve circuit. Lovely stuff indeed then. Gurman there is now coming onto the back straight as well, and here he comes in. Let's see what he did. He's 2/10 second up in the second split time as well, taking a lot of speed into that chicane. Incredible car control from a Gurman. Fantastic stuff then. And Gurman comes into the line. He's improved to a 20.5. It is not over. It is not over in this qualifying session at all. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Serious Mush now is a 10th of a second up then, coming on the hairpin as well. Paint is out on circuit as well. Mumford is also improving as well, as is FIFA. So there is still all to play for in this qualifying session. Is that Murphy may have lowered the bar, hasn't he? But it's not out of reach then, surely. I was saying it was out of reach this year a couple of minutes ago, but I could be so wrong. It's not. I changed my mind like I changed this weather here in Montreal. Oh my goodness me! That's a cracking time from Serious Musher. He's really on it like a car bonnet tonight, isn't he? He's 4/10 of a second up at the moment. Lovely stuff indeed there from the Racing Point driver indeed. That Gurman is Fleet has gone with the full. Fantastic stuff from Fleet there once again, showing he's got fantastic qualifying performance in that Red Bull, and for the second time in a row he is in the qualifying free. As here comes up Mumford, only 6 faster though there from Mumford. I wonder if there's more in the tank then as well. FIFA has come a cropper somewhere, so we're going to have to leave him to it then. Lovely shot here from the nose cone of the Williams then. He is at 7/10 of a second up, I think it was, or 4/10 of a second. So there's a Gordo saying Pillars pole wouldn't count it out then. Definitely not yet then, albeit Pillars does have a second to gain there, but because of this wet weather there is a lot to gain on this circuit, isn't there? It's very much it's evolving all the time, isn't it? Baz is just starting as well. Gurman is out staying out there as well, as I think it's Gurman is Gurman on a quick lap. No, he's just starting a quick lap as well. Murphy is also starting a lap. Lovely 17 then, so we're going to keep an eye on what Paynes can do. Paynes is half a second up there out of the final couple of corners as well. Let's see what he can do. And Paynes goes 4 fast there in the Williams. Lovely stuff indeed there for Paynes. Paynes has so much pace this season, hasn't he? Again, another driver that just hasn't been able to get it into as unfortunately there is that's a Renault then who's had an issue. FIFA is having some issues there into the the second chicane there, isn't he? And Flea is also has decided to call it a day in qualifying as well. Mumford is a 10th for a second up. That'll get him in front of Pillars as it stands at the moment as he comes into the final chicane as well. Look how close he is as well. This is the last shot for Mumford because the checker flag has fallen for Mumford. He is 3rd fastest. An incredible final time for Mumford. He is on the 2nd row of the grid. Brilliant stuff there from Mumford there. Absolutely fantastic. He is a super sub here tonight, and he's doing a cracking job. Gurman is less than a 10th of a second down into the second intermediate split time as well before accelerating away. Yellow flags is fluttering at the hairpin as well. Gurman flying past me now then and coming out to the hairpin. Now he's only a minuscule away from his personal best as well, and that minuscule, well, he's only 4,000 of a second away from Mumford as well. Goodness me, how close he got to that barrier then. Incredible stuff indeed then. It's Gurman comes across the line. He is back into 3rd fastest. Here comes Murphy coming out to the line. Murphy's improving still. He's on pole position again. One of the Pillars is 2nd fastest there. And goodness me there. But it is Dan Murphy at 19.4, and he is on pole position then for the Canadian Grand Prix. His 2nd pole position of his career in silver. What a fantastic performance for Murphy. His 1st pole position since Vietnam in round 3. And that is putting the doubters to rest, isn't they, for the time being. Brilliant stuff from Dan Murphy, the championship leader. Really hats off to him tonight. That was a fantastic performance there from Dan. And so, sorry, I couldn't find me old button there. But wow, what a performance there! And as Gordo said, Pillars was 4/10 up in Sector 1 then, and yeah, indeed he was there. Of course, he gained a second over his personal best, didn't he? But Murphy was just lowering that bar, wasn't he? And I got to say, it was a phenomenal qualifying performance for Murphy. Remember in Germany in I think it was season 2 in gold there, he was untouchable in that qualifying session as well. Is that better than that qualifying session in Germany? Well, I got to say that Murphy fans, I think that might have to be a vote in the old Discord later on, won't it? Because goodness me, that was fantastic. Now then we've got Murphy, who's on pole position then for his second time of his silver career, then Pillars is second, then Serious Mushroom is in third position, fourth position is Gurman, Mumford fifth, Payne sixth, Flea seventh, fantastic, Baz eighth, FIFA ninth, and Itchy is in 10th position. Bouter of a lap there from Dan there, says Alhan, and now take a breath, Sean. I will indeed then. Is of course there, so I got to get myself ready and raring to go for the race. So I'm already sweating buckets. It could be the Nando's, but I don't have spicy chicken because my belly just can't handle it. And I got to say that it's looking very dull out there, but it's a lot better than what we've seen in the qualifying session. So we got 16 cars and around the Canadian Grand Prix circuit here in Gilles Villeneuve as well. As Gordo's home for top 7 performers here tonight as well then, and it will be interesting to see what happens here tonight as well. Remember, it was a very interesting race last night, wasn't it? Let's see what we can do here tonight as well then, as the countdown is ticking down then to the start of qualifying here tonight then, and this is going to be a cracker, I have no doubt about that then, and this is going to be very good indeed. And well, it's a dry race, but I think that we might have a sprinkling of rain now, judging from those clouds up there. I think the drivers have definitely got to keep an eye on that weather, haven't they? Because it can turn in the blink of an eye here, can it? As I've already mentioned, 2011 there, goodness me, it was threatening to rain anyway, wasn't it? But goodness, but then it absolutely bucketed down there. Air to the saying, Dan is a wet wizard, indeed he is there. And I got to say, I think that's probably better than his German pole position, his last pole position in gold. And that was a cracking qualifying performance as well, wasn't it, from Dan then? And look at this then. So that weather qualifying session has really put a surprise on us, because now what tyres is going to start? Who's going to start on what tyres then? Well, at the moment it's very much a mixed bag. FIFA's decided to go on the hard tyres then, so he's the only man on the hard tyres. We have soft tyres for Murphy. I hope you all got your notebooks ready. It's a soft tyre for Murphy, soft tyre for Gurman, for Paynes, for Fleas, for Baz, for Itchy, and for VTOD, Toro Rosso and Ghost as well. Medium tyres for Pillars, for Serious Mushroom, for Mumford, for Woods, for Gordo, and for Razor as well. There is the strategy performance for the soft tyres, and of course it's a two-stop strategy by the looks of that graphic there for both ways as well then. And so let's go for the grid chart from front to back, from pole position then all the way down to 16th on the grid. 35 laps and Murphy on pole position. That's his second pole position then of silver this season. And a very good stuff indeed. He equals Gurman, who's had 2 pole positions, and Pillars as well, who's also had 2. Then that just shows how tightly competitive this race, this division is. Then second position is Pillars. And once again, the 2 championship protagonists on the front row. Serious Mushroom, who's had a bit of difficult couple of races, hasn't he? He's back in the sharp end in 3rd position. Gurman also right up there in 4th position. Mumford in 5th position. Great to see him back on an ALR grid. 6th position is Paynes there. Flea in 7th position. And can he get some points? 8th position is Baz then. He's a very cool cucumber, isn't he? FIFA Beefy also back on the silver grid as well. Great stuff. Itchy in 10th position there. 11th position is Woods. 12th position is VTOL. Gordo in 13th position there, making sure that VTOL there really hurries himself up. 14th position is Toro Rosso. In 15th position is Ghost, and 16th is Razor as well. Then that is the grid then for the Canadian Grand Prix. 16 cars, 35 laps. Who's going to get the win then? Who is going to get the points then? And this, the championship is really starting to heat up then. Round 9 out of 22 here in silver then. We're waiting for those 5 lights to come on, and when they go out we'll be racing then, and there they come on then. We got 4, we got 4, we got 5, there's a pole, and we are It is goal here in China in Canada, and Murphy takes the lead. Then second position is Infamous Pillars, and oh goodness me, then no Pillars in second position. Then we got Serious Russian. Then oh, there's contact there, a bit of contact. Gurman and that's also Williams there, also squeezed now as well. I think that's Pillars, as it knows Paint, I should say. And we got the inside is Gorda. Oh, it's no, that is Gurman, I should say. And look at this, as Paint is now up into third position as well. And oh, we got Torma Rosso who's facing the wrong way then. And as Woods is apparently leading this race, so we've got a virtual safety car as the tower there really sorts itself out there as well. And so virtual safety car after four corners there. So yeah, a bit of a scrappy start there, but not too bad then. And so then we got Serious Mushroom and Appalling start. He's down 2 positions, isn't he? Also down 3 positions is Vitar. Both racing points out an appalling start, and he might have to start there. Might have to practice their start line procedure there. That's what's going on there as well. Bro Gorilla saying, "Go on down there, get the win this evening." Then as get the win and evening, Sean. Good evening, Todd. I hope you're having a lovely day. As we're just waiting for the virtual safety car to come back in just a moment as well. We're not on lap 2. We're on lap 1. Then the counter is just as eager as me to get going, aren't they? And down in Pillars, and this is what we want to see. We've been looking forward to this all season, and here he goes. Oh, Flea has got past Mumford, has he? Indeed, he has, as he comes into the chicane as well. He is passing up into 6th position there. Flea has really caught Murphy says fast up the race. Flea has caught Mumford there and napping slightly, hasn't he, as they come across the line to complete lap 1 here in the Canadian Grand Prix as well then. So we got Serious Mushroom then, and oh goodness me, McLaren has got it way too deep there as well, and hit Mumford's rear there, but he is alright. That's a Williams gone. It's Itchy who spun off there. I think he went off on his own there, didn't he? In the Williams said that's not good at all. He's now going to have to recover and go back on circuit as well. Gordon's got a 3-second penalty. Ghost, Vitar and Torma Rosso are all in the pits at this stage of proceedings as well. Flea is on it's a rapid at the moment, isn't it? Goodness me, up 4 positions now. It's Radar as he is now picking his way through the field as well in the Alfa Romeo. He's also hasn't scored any points yet. This is a golden chance for the likes of Flea and for Razor. And remember that this man Flea has had an incredible last couple of weekends here in Silver, hasn't he? Now let's see if he can get some points then. Look at this, and as Gurman at the moment has lost 2.5 seconds then to the Dans in front of the moment. That is Murphy and Pillars then who lead the way. And Murphy is on the soft tires. He needs to make hay whilst the sun is shining, because Pillars is quite a quick customer, isn't he? Look at these Cure cars as they come down to the final chicane as well then. And let's see what we can do then. So Gurman leads. Oh, Paint has damaged the car. He's into the wall. He's in the wall of champions there, and that is not good for the Williams driver. He was doing so well. He is on the soft tires, and so it is so much as painful as it's going to be, DRS has been enabled. As painful as it's going to be, then it ain't going to be as painful if he was on the medium tires, because he's going to be going a little further in this race then, wasn't he? Gurman has also got a 3-second penalty as well. We've got to keep an eye out for that, haven't we? Because that is what is going to be that's what's going to be the story of the race, and not also about the racecraft, but about keeping your nose clean, keeping your car all in one piece, which at the moment Paint has not done anything. Flash past me, goodness me. And now then there's a Serious Mushroom coming up the outside, then a Paint, he is through. Oh, he is through, there's a bit of a squeeze, and look at Paint, and he's not giving up, then is he? Paint, goodness me. And he is back up into 4th position, and Paint, he's damaged the car then, but he's not giving up then. Serious Mushroom now having a look on the inside then. And then Flea trying to go on the outside then. Oh, did Flea go into the barrier there? He looked very wide there, didn't he? Flea did say, come out of the hairpin as well, and then coming down the back straight now then. There's a DRS that is right on the money, and then here comes Mushroom. He is through. He passes. He's up in the 5th for the 4th position. And Flea is going down. Look down. No, because into the pits. And yellow flag. Yellow flag is we've got a problem there. It's one of the Williamses. It is the second Williams that is of issues, having a couple of issues as well. He spun at the opening stage of this well. Unfortunately, both Williamses are on a bit of a nightmare. Murphy cannot shake off Pillars at the moment, can he? 3.5 seconds back is Gurman at the moment. We got Serious Mushroom in 4th, Flea 5th position there. 6 is Mumford as well. We're on board then with Mumford. Lovely stuff indeed then. It's as we've got Gordo, who's 3 tenths a second away at the moment from Woodside as well. As I was wondering what that noise was in my ear then. I've got to say that first off been quiet since starting this race, and I've only just realised that the game sound is coming from my headphones, so yeah, that really confused me. Anyway then, we're just watching Gordo then, who's in 10th position mode, and of course his aim is currently to try and get into the top 7 position then, but he's in 10th position at the moment there, isn't he, Gordo? On the hard tires is FIFA, and I know you fans are asking, where is FIFA? He is currently in 8th position at the moment. Baz is 7th position though, and he is really causing some concerns there from Mumford, who is really causing Flea some concerns. Well, they're all in DRS range at the moment. I need to be more concerned about the battle for the lead. That is now Pillars is going to go on the outside. He's going to go on the outside. There's contact. They're rubbing wheels, but Murphy is still going to lead. Then he's on the soft tires, and then look at this. It's a wheel to wheel. Then as they go across the line and going into turn 1, Murphy is going to lose the lead. He is on the outside. Murphy will have the inside, but Pillars has taken the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix. He passes the championship leader, and away he goes. And Murphy's got a bit more purchase there, but I think the job is done. It is job done now for Murphy. For Pillars, and he is now takes the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix. Remember, Pillars has 3 race wins this season so far. Murphy has 3 race wins as well to his name. They're all square at the moment. Gordo has got a 4-second penalty as well. We'll come back to them too later on, I have a feeling, because that is far from done. That is just the beginning, I think. Back on board with Baz at the moment, who's also on the soft tires. Same with the former race leader, Dan Murphy, who's unfortunately dropped out of the race lead at the moment. As we're just watching Gordo then. Oh, lovely shot here from the Haas. Look at that rear wing opening and closing. This is Haas's second home race then. Of course, our first home race is, of course, in the Austin Grand Prix, which is around round 20, isn't it, or 19? Something like that. We've got a long old season, haven't we? The longest season in ALR history, whether that's a gold or silver. Incredible stuff. And of course, it's definitely going to be the longest season in bronze there. After we only had 9 races in bronze up until this season as well. Of course, this is bronze's first season where they're on a 4 race as well. Woods there, look at this, he's gaining, and now Gordo is going alongside Woods. Gordo is up alongside, he passes the Renault driver, he is through and up into 9th position. Good move from Gordo, and now he is now up in the 9th position as well. It's Woods there, he's trying to come back on, but his next target is FIFA as well. Mumford there is giving Flea a bit of a squeeze at the moment, because Flea is is currently at the moment the cork in the bottle, isn't it, so to speak. Then Paynes has already made a stop there, and he is 15 seconds behind. Then we got Ghost then, who is 13 fastest. Tom Marosso is 14, Vitor is 15, and H down 16. Once again, the Williams team was showing good qualifying, but unfortunately the racer is just not going their way. It's lovely scenes from the helicam shot. Absolutely beautiful stuff indeed. Beautiful. As now then we're coming on the back straight as well, then before coming into the chicane as well, then before accelerating away. Ghost Recon has got a 3-second penalty. He is currently down in 13 fast one. The man who won the Dutch Grand Prix, and just taking a little Mumford as well. But there's currently no dice at the moment. Oh, the Flea has gone wide there, but he likes the wider line, doesn't he, Flea? Because he can get on the power slightly early, can he? Because he's going wide then. And Baz also in the background as well. One of those soft tires are now starting to scream. Murphy has got a 3-second penalty at this stage of proceedings. I wonder if Murphy would like to have had it raining in the race. And yellow flag in 2 and 3 as one of the McLarens has had some issues. And it is, oh goodness me, there's a couple of issues. And Todd has had a problem there with Toro Marosso. And that's not going to turn. And Mumford and Flea are going for 5th position then. And Mumford is through and up into 5th position now. Also Flea has gone wide there, and that's going to allow Baz at the inside then. Oh goodness me then, it is very close indeed there, but at the moment Flea has dropped down into 6th position as well, but he's still having a good strong race among Flea. Once again there, battling at the top then. We don't know what between Vitor and Toro Marosso, but unfortunately both of them have been in the ward, so to speak, haven't they? And because of that they're going to have to come into the pits, because both of them got damage on their end plates then, haven't they? That is not good at all there. Lap 7 as Gurman's got a 3-second penalty. We've got another yellow flag then. Is this a second McLaren? And what's happened then is oh dear, Toro Marosso there having a bit of a nightmare race at the moment, and so you might be open for a safety car. Back on board then at the moment, and with Flea then at the moment. Flea is starting to show us, but maybe I should be more concerned about Woods and Gordo, because look at that lovely diffuser there from Gordo. But we need to not focus on Gordo's diffuser. We need to be focused on the action outside the car, and yes we are indeed then, as Woods there is now gaining on Gordo. He has DRS. Gordo has DRS as well. Look at this, look at the slipstream effect. There's Gordo there. Oh goodness me, of course you cannot weave excessively in the braking zone, but as long as you're not in the braking zone, it is all fine and dandy. As we're coming through then to complete lap 8, Mumford and Flea, goodness me, they just can't stay away from each other, can they? And Mumford is back on the inside. Flea is not going to though. He fights, and he's on the outside, so Mumford's going on the inside, but Flea is still coming out of this. Is an incredible race, and he's going to go on the outside. Mumford should have the line now. Oh, it's for Flea's been forced onto the grass there. And now then, and he's also lost out to Baz as well. And away he goes as well. And so Baz in the 6th position. Flea then, I'm wondering if he possibly should have ducked out that one. I don't know. I probably would have kept my toe in as well. well, but I think it would have been a lot worse if I was in that predicament. Unfortunately, Flea has dropped down another position then as well. But of course, it's great to see Flea's fighting spirit right to the sharp end of the field there. I've got to say, I've said it already in this race, but he's very much impressed me in the last couple of races, Flea. I think fantastic stuff indeed then. As they come, oh, lovely shot here from the suspension at the moment. Look at that then. And the suspension of the Haas there really being worked at the moment. Gordo driving the Haas car, which is normally reserved for Mark Smillen, who of course won the Monaco Grand Prix, didn't he, 2 races ago? Unfortunately, he's not here tonight, is he? But Mark Smillen, another man who's starting to really going to be climbing up the order of the championship as well. Back on board with FIFA at the moment. He's the only man on hard tyres, and it's just picking and choosing his moments at the moment. But he's in this DRS training. So that was an Alfa Romeo in the background. I think Razor just took a bit of a graze there. The two-stop strategy, the two-stop guys that are coming in then. The pit window is now open then for anyone to go onto the medium compound tyres as well. So I think that might be a lot of soft runners and it's going to be thinking about popping into the pits then in just a few moments time as well. But at the moment then, I think FIFA needs to be a bit concerned about Gordo at the moment. Gordo's on a fantastic race, isn't he? Of course, on the qualifying performance, but qualifying bad now, but still in a very strong 13th position, isn't it? And look at this as well. And DRS is right on the money. If you did want a DRS ban, then this is probably one of the races you would pick there, because it's quite nice to overtake around here, isn't it? Oh goodness me, that Gordo there is right underneath the gearbox of that Renault as well. And look at this, and Gordo almost on the grass as he pops out from underneath the rear wing. He's going to go on the inside. FIFA gave him just about enough room there. And oh goodness me, look at how much flow we just flew past us. FIFA did incredible purchase off this hairpin. Brilliant stuff indeed then. As they're coming on the back straight as well. And look at this, as they're coming down the hill as well. Flea has got Joe, so Murphy is into the pits as well. And let's see what happens then. There's a Flea there. Oh, he's got across the chicane now, Flea has. And he's looks like there he's trying to avoid an instant. Flea has dropped down there 2 positions. Murphy is on the medium tyres then. And also got Razor, who has also got a 5-second penalty as well. But FIFA is now up to 5th position there. Flea has dropped down the order as well. Where's Murphy? Razor is out of the race then. Well, you see the position there, Razor. I'm not sure if it looks like he's in the pits, and so unfortunately for Razor, he was very much high up in the running then, but unfortunately for Razor, that's his 6 DNF in 8 races then for Razor then, so that's unfortunate as well. And I think he would have been, this has been a today where Razor could potentially have got points then, unfortunately, as Payne's now all over the back of Ghost as well. We're on board then with Woods, and Flea is, oh goodness me then, as Flea is making his car very wide indeed, isn't he? German is now in the 2nd position, and look at this then, and it is getting very tight, and isn't it? Flea there is just about in front then, but Woods has the inside line. He goes up the inside, locking up the inside front there, stamping on the brakes out from the Renault. Oh, and he's had a Kimi right in the moment there where he stepped on the gas too much there, and has spun out the rear tyres as well. Murphy sitting in the background as well. German is in the pits then, and we're also going to be talking about the undercut as well in just a few moments time as well. And look in the foreground here, goodness me, and look at Gordo there right underneath the rear wing of FIFA. All the pits is coming, German there in the Haas, and now it's the guys that are on the harder tyres and now starting to sneak through. Gordo is up in the 4th position there. Fantastic manoeuvre there, and look at FIFA. He's going to go back up the inside. There he is, going back up the inside. Fantastic race. Then it's wheel to wheel. Oh my goodness me, then fantastic stuff. And FIFA is back up in the 4th position there. Gordo had the position there, but FIFA had the purchase there on those hard tyres there. As Flea is now also starting to get involved as well. Dan Murphy is only a second behind this. Remember, he was the man on pole position there. He needs to get by these cars. These cars are not coming into the pits anytime soon, and this might also swing swinging to the way of Pillars now, wasn't it? It's a 3-second penalty there for one of the Williams pair as well. I think that was a Paynes. It was Paynes indeed then, as they come out of the hairpin as well. There is Murphy then, as we also send Woods and we also send Flea as well. Flea has now regained his composure then, and is now coming back onto this battle here as well. There is German in the background as well. This is going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? So they come out of the hairpin. This is cracking racing, isn't it? Flea then is now on board with Flea, and look at this slipstream here. Look at him, he's gaining. Flea's on a cracking job with those soft tires. Fantastic. Oh goodness me, it's Gordo there. It's pulling out very late on. Oh, there's contact. Gordo's in the wall. He's in the wall there. And he's got 3-second penalty as well. Gordo has first troubles, and I think he's going to come in the pits then. And I think that's a very good recovery there from Gordo. But I think he'd be very disappointed with how that ended there. I wonder if that was that's a shame there for Gordo. So he's in the pits now as well. But luckily he didn't lose too much time there, as he was near the pits anyway. Woods there locking up the front there once again. Then Flea, Woods, and goodness me, Woods there getting very squirry as well. FIFA Beefy is on the hard tires there, and Murphy's going up the inside. Oh, goodness me, that was a very risky maneuver there from the championship leader. And because there is 3 DRSs around here. Here's one of them now. And now Murphy's all over the gearbox as well as Woods is now Murphy's on the outside. Woods is on the inside. He swoops on the outside, passes Woods, and away he goes as well. Next target is Flea and FIFA Beefy right up in front of us as well. We're back on board. We're down now as they come into the hairpin as well. And here as into the pits, there comes the race leader for Pillars. I'm surprised he's in so early. Goodness me, then that's really thrown me off my A game there, which is not too hard, is it? As they're now coming now, and now there's another DRS done as well. Then Flea, then I've got to say, Flea is not a slouch there, is he? On this back straight, goodness me, Flea is very much up. Oh, as we're coming into the coming to chicane as well. I was grimacing there. Pillars is on the soft tires. Interesting stuff there. Pillars is coming out of the pits now, and he's just hit the pit exit. Look at the background. That's German having a fight there with the Renault. And look at this. Where is Pillars? Pillars is out of the pits already. Of course, you cut the first part of the track, don't you? When you come out of the pits, and he is through. Murphy is also in the 5th position as well. But that is pivotal in the battle for the race win here today as well. Here comes German as well. German is also battling for a podium at this stage of proceedings as well. German does not want to lose any time behind this traffic at the moment, and I think Murphy, of course, did have a bit of a deficit, didn't he, to himself and the race leader as well. And Murphy is now through back, is now up in the 4th position. He's got a bit of fresh air now. Oh, Gurman going wide then, and now it's might entice Flea. Oh, it could entice Flea then, but he got on the little pedal there and almost had a half spin there as well. And that means that Woods is now also going to be more intrigued than ever then. Oh, a lock up there as well. We're on lap 13 then, out of 35 as well as Pillars has got past and is now up into 2nd position then. In front of us is Serious Mushroom at the moment then. We haven't seen it at the top of the standings for quite a while. Look in the background. What is going on here? It is Woods. It is Flea once again then. I gotta say, they got more rounds of the boxing match at the moment. And Flea there is into the pits then. And I gotta say, I'm a big fan of Flea at the moment. And he's had a fantastic couple of races, isn't he? He's been very much right in the mix there. And it's absolutely splendid to watch and splendid to witness. Flea, oh, we got a yellow flag in Sector 1 then. What is going on in Sector 1? I think it's one of the McLarens. I think it's Toro Rosso who is just getting on the way at the moment. He is down in a 15th position there. Once again, Toro Rosso just seems to be on a lot of bad luck, doesn't he? Gurman then, we're on board as well. Of course, another man who's had a bit of bad luck this season, Gurman is. And he is now be on FIFA Beefy then. I wonder if FIFA will get the no, he won't. And there's a yellow flag there as well. Of course, that is just for Tom Ross getting out of the way. Then going up the inside is Gurman. Now he is out of traffic then. Dead Pains has just got the fastest up of the race as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. We're just watching this battle here then, which is Serious Mushroom and Baz at the moment. Serious Mushroom's just come out and he's on the same strategy as Pillars at the moment then. So he's gone from medium to soft tires at the moment then. In the racing point, as he is now coming down into the hairpin as well. Yellow flag is the McLaren once again. And of course, I think it's Torma Ross to just get out of the way everywhere. I've got to say, being a very good sportsman now is I would not be doing that, to be honest. Even if you are a ghost now, it can't hinder. Look at the pacer, and he is through Serious Mushroom, and he is up into 7th position. And Woods has had an amazing run out of 14 and he's going up the inside. Oh my goodness me. And look at, I've got to say, I thought he was locking up and steaming into the side of his teammate there, but no, not all. As a FIFA, once again, looks like those hard tires are not enjoying the track positions at the moment, are they? It's a bit cool here in Montreal here tonight, as it was a sun-baked circuit, was it? And Mumford is, as Dan Murphy's got past Mumford and has moved up into 2nd position, and they're through the traffic now. Gurman is next then on the Mumford hit list as well as we're coming on the backside as well. So now then FIFA then is currently in the in front of Woods at the moment. I wonder if Renan might do the old switcheroo then. FIFA's got a 3-second penalty as well to add to his dilemma at the moment. So this is the closest battle on track as he's having a look on the inside. Not quite another lock up as well. Those tires are going to look like 50p pieces, aren't they? Of course, so when you lock up once, you just seem to hit that same lock up patch, don't you, of the round tires out of those Pirelli rubber. And look at this, and as you can see there, we've got Gurman who is less than is in the DRS as well. Good, Mumford's in the wall there. I'm not sure what happened there. We just caught the end of it, and we were just flicking through. I'm not sure there if there was, of course, we had an incident there on the final lap last night, and unfortunately, and look at what's on his steaming up the inside, and once again there, FIFA there is just not giving an inch, and he's breaking so much there than his teammate. Fantastic stuff indeed there. We've also got Ghost there who Gordo is all over the back of Gordo as well. Gordo's had to make a early stop, hasn't he? He's on the hard tyres there. And the Haas and Ghost is on the medium tyres then. It's through it up into 10th position as well. And can Ghost get some points on the board then? As Mumford there is crawling back to the pits. And oh, goodness me then. I thought he was going to understeer there into the back. And look at Sir Mushroom almost getting wrong foot there by the limping Mumford there. Bully is through nonetheless then. And now, oh, lock up again there from Woodset. Goodness me, he is not liking that front right tyre, is he? Goodness gracious me, he is stamping on that front, on that brake pedal quite often, isn't he? And now he's come down to the airman as well. Look at this, we got two Reynolds, we got Mumford. Oh no, goodness me. As you can see the Constantine effect, it doesn't matter how many times I'll see it, I get so excited when they close up. And look at Sir Mushroom weaving this way and that way. Now he's on the outside, and now he passes. Murphy's got another 3-second penalty. That's 2 in the bank now for Dan Murphy. And now Sir Mushroom is up into 5th position then, as Woods is in. No, it's FIFA Beefy in the pits there. And goodness me, those hard tires is not working out at all. Mumford is out of the race then. And it's a severe collision there, and I'm not sure what's happened there. And oh no, both Reynolds are in the pits. What's going on here? Well, that's appalling luck then. Both Reynolds are not communicating. Of course, FIFA Beefy, who was a part of the Renault team originally, and as of course they're not regular teammates, are they? And now I'm wondering then if that's really caused issues, hasn't it? And now the Renault team against work Mumford out of this race, and that is the second retiree of this Canadian Grand Prix. Woods is now out of the pits as well. Gordo is coming into the pits then, and let's see what tires is going to go on as well. So Gordo is back in the pits quite early on, isn't he? So the car's come towards and he's damaged the nose cone. Gordo has. What a shame. Then we've got a lot. Oh goodness me, we've got some more in plate damage, and I think that's a Williams. It is a Williams. Oh dear. Then I wonder then as we've got a virtual safety car in this race then, as anarchy has really started to ensue in this race, hasn't it? Goodness me. Oh, and Vito was getting caught out as well. Oh gosh. And wow. I gotta say, it's as Doris and Naval then we're back racing then here in Canada, and we're on lap 18. We're half distance now here at the Canadian Grand Prix. Pillars is going for his 4th race win in silver, and of course I've just seen Drop Fast there in the comments there. Pillars to gold hashtag. I think I should say hashtag Pillars to gold is more the case there, shouldn't it? Really, I'm surprised I'm surprised Drop Fast has talked to me after I gave him the cold shoulder last night. But of course, as I've already mentioned, I have apologised, and when I get I was a bit frazzled last night after the appalling streaming quality, and I hope it's all good for you tonight. I've kept an eye on it. You can tell when I keep an eye on it because I go quiet, because I can't do two things at once. So just taking a look then as we're just watching Viton then, who's all over the back of Vitch as well. These two didn't come in the pits then. Gordo and Payne said, but that Williams is limping, isn't it? There's damage to the that's a wounded car, isn't it? And he has got, we sit him in the wall, didn't we, on the last lap as well. Ghost has got a 3-second penalty, but he's carrying on then, albeit with literally no end plates at all, has he, on that Williams? Goodness me. That's not good at all. Toro my Ross has now put the 14th position there. Bars is doing a cracking job. He's up with the 5th position. Lovely stuff indeed then. And he has done 8 laps on these medium tyres as well. So Bars there under the radar, so to speak. Flea is on the hard tyres there as well. So you don't want to switch to the hard tyres. The hard tyres don't look to be playing ball at the moment, with FIFA having some issues, and both Reynolds there have really compromised, haven't they? I'm not sure what happened with Mumford there, but both unfortunately both Alfa Romeos are out of this race as well. Not a good season for the Alfa Romeo in gold or bronze at the moment, is it? So I think Jake Wilson is really flying the flag for the Alfa Romeo team at the moment. There is he's scored so far 34 points then for the Alfa Romeo team. Unfortunately he's not here tonight. Baz then is he's 1.4 seconds away from the car in front, which is Serious Mushroom at the moment then. And now we're into the second half of this race now. That this is going to get fairly tasty, isn't it, as we're coming into the second part now. Well, we are in the second part of this race, haven't we? Let's take stock then. So Pillars is currently leading the race, and he's on soft tyres. 9.5 seconds in front of Murphy, who is second. Gurman, brilliant drive at the moment in third position there. It looks like he's finally had a clean race, hasn't he? But he's got a serious motion now that is going to be really biting at his heels there later on in this race as well. We've got Baz in 5th position then, who is also keeping tabs at the moment with Serious Mushroom in 5th. Flea in 6th position then as well, as a yellow flag there. I think it's when the McLarens are just get out of the way again then. Or is it? No, because it's Gordo who's going on the outside of the Williams there. Gordo is passing. He's up into 11th position and passes Itchy, who is down in 12th position as well. He's having a nightmare race once again. Both Williamses just don't seem to have to rubber the green so far, do they? Flea in 6th position at the moment. Flea is having a stupendous race once again. Gurman is in the pits very early. To be honest, I wasn't expecting Gurman to be in the pits there for another couple of laps then, with 15 to go then. And So that's a shot there for German. As we got what Tarts is going to go on, and keeping on what the Haas driver do. FIFA is now up into 6th position as well. German is he's changing the nose cone. So the Haas cars have submissions, and so German is changing the nose cone. He's got 15 laps to do on these medium tires. That should be okay. But yeah, that's not ideal, is it, in terms of the pace there from getting from lights to flag, is it? So German then is now well out of position then, and he can still get on the podium then, but he's going to have to find that time up in the latter stages of this race as well. So that's a bit unfortunate there. And now we've got Pains then, who's really rattling those curves there, isn't he? Good job. I wonder if I hope you haven't got fillings, Pains there, because they'll be rattling those fillings, won't they? He is now, as Itchy's in the pits as well then, in the Williams there, as he was dropping down like a stone, unfortunately, wasn't he? Itchy was with that issue with the wing as well. We're on board the Williams driver as well. He comes into the pits there, changing to the medium tires there, and should get him to the end of the race there from there for the Williams team. But that's a shame now for Itchy, as they've got so much pace, haven't they, both Williams pairs, but they just can't seem to catch a break at this stage of proceedings, can they, in this championship? On board Gordo, and look in front of Gordo, that is V-Top then, who's done 13 laps on those soft tires. Goodness me, that's a marathon, isn't it, from V-Top then? So I think that he's now at a good stage there, where potentially he'll probably be able to go into the medium tires then. Well, he can go to a soft set if he can eke them out. Goodness me, I'm not sure if that's the quickest way, but well, he's making it work at the moment, isn't he? Albeit he's in 10th position, and lock up there. That's not how you keep those tires happy, is it, for V-Top? They're really stamping on the brakes then. Pillars has got a 3-second penalty in the Ferrari as well, as they come out of the hairpin down the back straight as well. And look at this, and as Gordo is got past V-Top, and he is up into 10th position as well. And a good 70 there from Gordo, as he is on a good recovery into the pits there. Comes V-Top there, locking up both those both front tires there, as he stamps on the brakes there and comes into the pits there for the racing point as well. There is the racing point now, ready to go to work, and they are now changing those tires there onto the medium tires there to the end of the race for car 9. Can he get some points from here, V-Top then? Well, he surely can, but we'll see what he does then. Now German is really caught up to the back of Fleet quite quickly, hand over fist there. Fleet on hard tires are not working, I don't think, at this stage of proceedings. German's going to go on the outside, he is on the outside, the Fleet went off the inside. Is he going to go up and under? German is, he's going to give it a go then, isn't he? Look at this then, switching back to the inside, now back to the outside. Fleet there, oh goodness me, I didn't think he said it up, but he's on the outside now, and German is through and passes Fleet and moves up into 7th position, and Fleet dropping down into 6th position. Fleet dropping down into 7th position. He's also got a 3-second penalty to add to compile to his misery then at the moment. So come across the line then. German is 6th, Fleet is 7th at the moment then, and I think that's job done. Next up for German is Woods got a 3-second penalty as well. Next up for German there is a FIFA, who has done 5 laps on those medium tires. It might be a bit more difficult, no disrespect to Fleet, but I feel that the hard tires is just not in the right on the right performance window, is it? German, who was in 3rd position, is having to come back, isn't he, through this field, and after a extra pit stop there for wing damage there, can German get back on the podium? He has been on the he's on the podium in Monaco, and he's been on the podium twice here this season, hasn't he? Remember, he was 3rd in the championship last season in bronze, wasn't he? A very consistent runner, German was then. This season as well, he's been very unlucky, hasn't he? And into the pits there comes Pains as well. 3-second penalty for Toro Rosso as the Williams now out of the pits as well. That is a race leader in the background. It is Pillars there, who's just coming out of the pits now, as he is changing tyres and Pillars then, and that's it then. So Pillars is now going to go to the end of the race then. Good 17 then, and you can see he's also got easy track position as well then. It's all falling into place then for Pillars there, going for his 4th race win of his career in silver. Lovely 17 then. Serious Mushroom cut out of the pits as well. German is set as he's got an issue there, hasn't he? He's got a 3-second penalty, but he is past Serious Russian, and Serious Russian coming out of the pits now as well. Yellow flag into them, but figures the lap McLaren there of Toro Rosso, who's keeping going there. So hats off to Toro Rosso. Serious Mushroom is only a couple of seconds away there from German as well, less than a couple of seconds actually. Now Fleet coming out of the pits as well, and so he's that hard stint there just really didn't really help him out at all, did he? And now he's out of the pits now. Fleet, but he's on course for some points as well. Gordo has done 6 laps as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. And we've also got it. Oh, that's a McLaren off. It's Toro Rosso there having some issues there, and of course going over that hump of grass there as well. That's unfortunate, isn't it? And the yellow flag there for the issues right now. There's a Williams there who's right on the tail of Murphy at the moment. I got to help Murphy, is it? But of course there he's on fresher tires, isn't he? And he's unlapped himself, isn't he? So that ain't going to help Murphy too much, is it? Of course there is even if he is a ghost rubber, Murphy is not the meat in the Williams sandwich, isn't he? Bars is in the pits as well then for the McLaren team, and he is now as Gordo's got a 3-second penalty, yellow flag in free downs. This is team Bars' teammate, but Bars in third position mode. Now, strong performance here from Bars, and level 17, I think that's the strongest performance of his career so far. FIFA has now been in third position. Is FIFA going to extend this stint and go to the end on those medium tires then? I wonder if it's definitely worth a gamble there from FIFA, but I think he's had a strong drive, hasn't he, nonetheless. And German is also going to the end as well, but he is going to have a very quick serious measure as well. This might be the battle for the final podium place of the race as well. They're 18.6 seconds away at the moment from Dan Murphy as well. Energetics has just said, hey honey, showed that. Hello Energetics, I hope you're having a lovely day. As I'm just now watching and look at this, and this is the battle for third position then, as at the moment then is as they're coming down then into. And there's a yellow flag floating around, but both McLarens are quite close together there. So I was a bit concerned that it might have been Bars, of course, as well. As much as we do love Toro Rosso at the moment, and he is not really in the conversation, is he? So to speak of this Canadian Grand Prix, unfortunately, he's a lap down and really struggling at the back of the field. Once again, Toro Rosso, it just not seem to be going right at the moment, is it? Unfortunately, as well. So now then we're coming up then onto the back straight as well. FIFA beefy at the moment, 4/10 of a second away from German. German, as Dan has got another 3-second penalty. That's 9 seconds worth of penalties. And is that going to come back to haunt him? He might lose second position, albeit at the moment it is 19.2 seconds. Oh my goodness me! There is a bit of contact. German has gone to the grass there. Remember, we had a huge smash there with Frentzen and Schumacher, didn't we? And that's a 5-second penalty as well for German. Remember, Schumacher came out the pits in 98 and he went straight onto the racing line and forced Frentzen off. And if anyone remembers, Frentzen turn was teaching Schumacher how to count to 1 as well, wasn't he? And I wonder if German might be doing the same there to FIFA. I was very he was going on the outside there, wasn't he? And unfortunately he ran out of road. Then German also got a 5-second penalty for his troubles as well, unfortunately. Back on board with German then, as German's got another 3-second penalty. He's getting a lot of penalties at this stage proceedings, isn't he? German is, as infamous pillars, is now all over the back of the race leader, Dan Murphy. Dan Murphy will be he is in the pits now then, and he'll be going on to soft tyres now to the end of the race as well. So he's got 10 laps then to he's got 10 laps then to see what he could do then from there on in then. DRS then for German again then as well. So I've got to see, FIFA is trying to break the toe, isn't he? So he's coming up then into the chicane as well, as Alhan is saying it was why wasn't space left there? Naughty. Yeah, I was like, oh, and goodness me, now German's going to go on the outside. He is on the outside. He passes FIFA and he moves up into third position then. And of course, unfortunately, they came to blows, and he's now got about at least an 8-second worth of penalty there to really build up that gap, hasn't he? As just taking a look, then he's got both Williamsons there who are very close company. Here they are then. We've got the race leader Pillars then, who's 16 seconds away from Murphy at the moment then, as they're coming down into this hairpin as well. We've got Toro Rosso, who is who looks like he's really struggling out there. Toro Rosso, he's just finished. He's just gone on to the soft tires as well, as Paints is going away into the pits goes as well. And look at this then, as Paints there is really gaining, isn't he, on Itchy then? And look at this then, and now through the pass, he's up into the 12th position, or is he then, as he turns in then? And look how this is getting very dangerous as well, because Pillars is also involved in this fight. He's got a 3-second penalty, Pillars has, but oh goodness me, then this is getting very feisty between the two Williams, as they're not even banning for points at this stage of proceedings, are they? Gordo is now has just come out in front. Ghost has come out in front of Gordo and is now on course for some points. And Gordo has got a 7.2 second deficit over himself and V-Top then, so potentially he's on course for some points. Good stuff indeed then. Flea is all over the back of Woods then. Flea then is now starting to come back through the field as well. We've got FIFA and Gurman, who's also still very close together, aren't they? As Gurman is now only 6 seconds away from Murphy. Flea is now past the Woods up in his 7th position, and away he goes. But he's had a bit of oh goodness me, as both men had a bit of trouble there with the Wall of Champions, but they come across the line now as well. As back with this battle here, FIFA's not giving up, is he? They both got similar short tyres, haven't they? And we've got Serious Mushroom, who's got a lot younger tyres actually though than both these two, but he isn't really putting a dent in at the moment, is he? Goodness me. As just going back to the Alhan comment then, very similar to Schumacher and Frentzen back in 1998, wasn't it? I think it was Schumacher come barreling out of the pits. I remember the pit lane and came out literally directly after the finish line, didn't they? And because of that, it really caused havoc, didn't it? And her friends there went crashing into the bar as well. I'm sure you've seen Johnny Herbert having a big old smash there in 97 as well, if I'm not very much mistaken. I'm sure I remember a Sauber barreling across there as well. And who can forget the Perez and Felipe Massa incident is down there as well. But of course, that wasn't as dramatic, was it, between German and FIFA? But it was a bit naughty there from FIFA Beefy. But as Murphy has just set the fast on the race there, he is, of course, he is now trying to take away a couple of points from Infamous Pillars. And of course, there's the battle for the championship lead. I think it's going to be a fantastic one, isn't it? Remember, we got the longest season in ALR history in gold, silver, and bronze. 22 races there, as we're going all the way around the globe, aren't we? And we're on board now with FIFA Beefy at the moment, and he is now dropping back slightly, and I think that Serious Mushroom is now going to be giving a FIFA some cause for concern, I have a feeling. And lap 28 then, out of 35, into the pits comes Woods then, as those soft tires there, looks like they've screamed enough then for the Renault car, and he's also changing the nose cone. Woods might be in a bit of trouble here, because V-Todd is going to get him to the points. He's fourth in the championship at the moment, V-Todd is, but he's having another difficult race weekend, isn't he, unfortunately, or race week I should say, actually, isn't it? Formula 1 racing for me is always on the weekends, but there you go, the Mosing weekend mode. Young Lights is saying, hey Sean, they're still annoyed after getting second pole position and then lagged out. Got something that can improve it soon then. And I got to say, Lights, I am very much with you on that front, because I didn't have a very good evening either last night. But I've just decided to get a 50-meter cable and just plug it into a PlayStation. So there we go then. So I'm not then really. It looks absolutely a mess. And so luckily my housemate's not here for the next couple of days. And so I can do this for today and tomorrow. But next week I've got to really find a better solution than that. Anyway, enough about my problems. But let's get back to the racing, shall we? Because I think FIFA's going to have a couple of problems in the form of a pink Mercedes or a Tracing Point, or maybe an Aston Martin from next season or the season after an ALR. But what we know about is the Racing Point, and that is Serious Mushroom, who is fifth in the World Drivers' Championship at the moment. And as I just taking a look then, we're okay. I thought there was going to be some dramatic endings here in Canada, but there still can be then. Of course, I got to say, it's been a very impressive race, I have to say. Only 16 cars started this race, only 2 retirements so far, and hats off to Toro Rosso for keeping going in what looks to be a very unhappy McLaren there, and also to the Williams pair as well, who's having a miserable day out there, isn't they? V-Todd is currently on course for getting some points there, albeit then, but he's going to lose more ground in the championship, isn't he? And of course, we have also got Gordo, who's on course for 9th position. Flea is on course for his first point season one, with a very good 7th position there. Serious Rusher is back up in the 4th position, and he takes FIFA, and FIFA's jumped down to her now. He's done 12 laps on those medium tyres, and they are very much becoming second hand then. We have a McLaren in the background as well, Baz, who is aiming for his best result of his career as well in the second McLaren, looking very strong indeed then, as once again the Williamses are exchanging blows, and then goodness me then, I gotta say, it's very much been an epic boxing round, hasn't it? Lovely 7D there, just saying, your voice is a lot better, babe. Love it. Well, I'm not sure about that, because I think Nosy and Pillars had a beautiful voice, didn't they? Last Tuesday in Bronson, I got to say, it was very soothing for me. Very was indeed. And I got to say, I think they need to be on one of those like relaxation apps, don't they? Oh gosh, beautiful stuff indeed. Then really went me into some kind of very relaxing zone, like I was in a bubble bath or something. Anyway, so we're coming back then to FIFA at the moment, then, and I got to say, FIFA Beefy then in the Renault at the moment, and getting very wide into the airplane as well. Gerdman, I got to say, is not really. It's not really ripping up too many trees at the moment, is he? In the Haas, he's a bit slow at this stage of proceedings, and I've bearing on mind, take slow with a pinch of salt. I mean slow in relative terms to the guys behind him, because look at that, we got a Racing Point, we've got a Renault, we've got a McLaren on in pursuit. Then we've also Gordo's also being pursued now by V-Todd then, as Gordo's going to be squeezed, isn't he, in the final stage of this race as well. And it's we're on board then, and that's a Toro Rosso who's off and in the wall. No, then it's Toro Rosso off and in the wall. It's the McLaren, and he's out of the race. So we've got a virtual safety car to really end this dramatic race, isn't it? Goodness me, as oh gosh, and that's a big oh no, and that's a Williams in the wall. Paynes is out of the Canadian Grand Prix. I have put the jeepers on it, as once again there, as I really throw the jinx at it, don't I? And Paynes is out of the Canadian Grand Prix, and what a shame that Paynes is getting a good qualifying performance from both Williams team drivers there, but they just can't seem to get the results, can they? And now then we're back on board then We're on lap 31 then, out of 32, out of 35. Pillars has got a 17-second advantage at the moment, but Pillars is actually rolling the dice and coming into the pit set. Has he got enough of a deficit? And we're going to watch now then. So here he is, the Ferraris again toward, and Diaz has now been enabled then. So he's going to get a bit of reprieve, but I think he should be out in front then. Murphy is coming out of the final chicane now then. And look on the right-hand side of the track map as well. Murphy's going to take the lead, or is he? Pillars is coming out of the pit stop. Murphy flies past it. He's going to skip it to turn one. He's going to skip it to turn one, but Murphy takes the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix as the Pillars comes on now. We have got a battle for the final part of the Canadian Grand Prix. Murphy's done 6 laps too, compared to Pillars, who's only done on a fresh set of soft tyres then as well. We got FIFA, we got Sirius, and we have got Baz all fighting for 4th, 5th and 6th minutes as well. Oh goodness me, and we're going to have to have eyes on the back of our head, folks, then, because this is all over the show now, isn't it, as we come into the final stage of the Canadian Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Half a second separates Murphy, and no ladies left, and half a second now. Look at this, and you can see the gap for yourself right in front of you. Gordo's dropped down into 10th position, V. Todd is having the 9th position as well, as Nalan is here. Oh, he's going to the back of Murphy. Remember what happened in bronze there in the Chinese Grand Prix. 4th period, an extra time there, and he damages front wing, but this might be more of a done deal. It is more of a done deal. Pillars is through. He takes Murphy and is back into the lead then as well. And so I've got to say an extra bit of gamble there from his Pillars. Goodness me then. I've got to say that man's very brave, isn't it? Might ask him for the lottery numbers later on. My goodness me then, but I've got to say that it might have been a done deal, wasn't it? But it's still an added risk, isn't it, about trying to overtake someone, especially your championship rival. But I don't think Murphy's got to swipe left into him, is he? Or swipe right. I don't even know how does Tinder work. I'm not sure. Anyway, enough about that then. Of course, oh goodness me, Baz is right underneath the rear window of FIFA as he goes into turn 1 as well. Nothing to do yet. There's Gurman, there's Pillar, so there's Gurman, there's Mushroom, and now here's FIFA and Baz in 33 out of 35 then, as we have got as we got one of the Haas's, and that's Gordo. Gordo's had a problem there. Gordo, who is a couple laps away there from getting a point, and Itchy is out of the race then here in Canada, and that's both Williamsons out in the matter of laps then. And what a shame now for Itchy and Payne there. I've got to say, they've got so much pace there. How they in qualifying, it's just not working out on the race at the moment, is it? And I'm wondering if we're going to have to bang their heads together and just see what they can do there. Are we going to get another virtual safety car in the final stage then of this Canadian Grand Prix as well? I looked on the map there and I seen a Haas right behind Murphy as well, so yeah, I was wondering what happened to Murphy, so now we're coming into hairpin as well then. So Serious Mushroom is now less than a second away. He's going to have DRS then. Did he have DRS then? So no, he hasn't got DRS yet then. So Fignity must have gained under braking then. So he is gaining there on the Haas, but he's only got 2 laps there to really put his stamp on getting on the podium as well. Remember, Gurman does have penalties though. And of course, we did mention at the beginning of this stream that it might be about penalties, mightn't it? As we come into turn 1 as well then. 34 out of 35, as you can see, it's been very gloomy out here today. Yesterday was a beautiful sunshine, wasn't it? We had all 3 seasons in qualifying yesterday, but here tonight then it has been a bit of rain then, and then we've had a bit of gloom in the and Sirius Russell's got a 3-second penalty as well. Is that going to put his just desserts on getting that podium? Well, we'll find out then. What we're on 34 out of 35 everyone as well, as this intense race there is coming into the twilight, isn't it? And of course we've got 4 cars there. The 11th is on the same piece of tarmac at the moment, and here they are as well, as a Serious Mushroom is still just within DRS range from Gurman as well, as Baz there is on course there for his best result of his career in silver. He's had a fantastic performance tonight. Baz is really well done indeed, as they come into the hairpin now. Accelerates out then, lovely stuff indeed there. So now then, we'll just take a look at this then. It's a Serious Mushroom then is just too far back. He's half a second far back, and look at Gurman there. He is trying to break the toe, isn't he? Because he can feel that racing point breathing down. It's like passes up the inside. Oh goodness me there, and he's got a 3-second penalty, but he's good off the momentum there, and it's going to be a run down into turn 1, is it? That's the beauty about this final part of the lap here in Canada. He is on the inside. Baz has taken 5th position, or does he? No, because FIFA is on the outside. And now he's on the inside for turn 2. Brilliant defended for FIFA. Lovely jubbly indeed then. And at the moment, as Baz has been kept at bay from FIFA. FIFA's on an incredible drive, hasn't he, here tonight? Really impressive stuff there from the Renault driver. He seems to bounce back, doesn't he? After having a couple of races out, FIFA's very much a refreshed man here at this stage of proceedings, isn't he? Maybe he's just happy that FIFA 21 is coming out soon then. On board then with Baz as well, as he's coming out of the final, out of the second chicane. So I've also got Serious Mushroom there who's really on the back, who's really giving German a cause for concern there, because German has now also got a penalty as well. Pillars there, coming out of the final turn, and he's going to win his 4th race then of his silver career and his 4th race of the season. He wins the Canadian Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff. Murphy in 2nd position in the end. Then Pillars had so much more race pace at this stage of proceedings at this race, didn't he? German is still batted away in 4th position as well as they come into the final chicane. And German's lost it, and almost luckily though he's got much momentum as well. But German is down into 4th position. He's dropped right up. FIFA's on the podium. Baz in 4th, Mush in 5th. German in 6th position. Flea is now, he's not long away. I think Flea has been guaranteed a point then. His 1st point of his ALR season 2 career. Fantastic stuff there. Ghost also got a penalty coming out of the final turn as well. As here he comes then. Flea in 7th position. Ghost in 8th position. VTOD in 9th position. And in 10th position is Woods as well. Gordo unluckily just outside the points. Well, he was in the points more often than not, Gordo was, and potentially he could have and potentially as VTOD has actually moved up to a very fine 8th position as well in the end. VTOD is all about then is all about the clean races, isn't he? And there is FIFA Beefy drive of the day, and why? Got to say, I can't argue with that. That's a fantastic drive from FIFA in the Renault team as well. And hats off there to Pillars, his 4th race win of his career in ALR. Fantastic stuff. And I got to say, this man is on the march, isn't he? He's on the march then to his promotion to gold. Then also a lovely selfie. Well done indeed then to Pillars. Then hats off to him, and you can see that he is celebrating with a little bit of the bubbly as well. Murphy is 2nd in the end, then the pole sitter, and 3rd position is FIFA Beefy then, who I gotta say very much is clean as a whistle, and he is the final man on this podium as well. Lovely jubbly indeed then. Ooh. And let's take a follow look at the classification from the Canadian Grand Prix, round 9 of ALR Silver. Well, Murphy got pole position and fastest up, but it's Pillars who takes the spoil in the race itself, isn't it? So Pillars, his 4th race win of his career in Silver, fantastic. Murphy is 2nd today. FIFA B-Feeder, brilliant drive from 9th to 3rd, fantastic stuff. A very unique strategy that got him there as well, and brilliant pace set. Baz, his best result of his career in 4th fed. Serious Mushroom in 5th. German in 6th position, then of course a 5-second penalty, and he also had 38 seconds worth of penalties, goodness me. Flea 7th, well done to Flea there, his 1st points of his season. VTOD 8th, Ghost 9th, Woods in 10th, Gordo finished 11th at the end, just outside the points set. Itchy, Plains, Torman, Russell, Mumford and Razor all retired then from this Canadian Grand Prix then. And I got to say, an absolutely fantastic race it really was indeed. Now I've got the rostrum drivers there in the gantry as well then, so of course there. And let's start with the man who won this race as well, Pillars. What a race today then. That's your 4th race win of the season, and you're really marching on now and putting the squeeze on Dan Murphy in the championship.
Yeah, really happy with today. Good pace in the in quali, but obviously Dan's lap was out of this world, so fair play to him with that quali lap. In the race, I think my race pace is just better today. But yeah, glad to get my 4th win, and obviously that gap now goes down to under a race win, so it's getting tight.
It really is indeed an absolutely spectacular race as well. I got to say that you was just amazing today. Do you rank that as one of your best race wins of your career in ALR so far?
I think so, yeah. I think I beat all the others. Obviously, I had to overtake Dan, and finally, after all these races, that we finally get to have a little battle on track. It's a little bit tight for that chicane, but made it fair. But yeah, definitely probably one of my best.
Congratulations, Infamous. A brilliant race indeed then. Fantastic stuff then. Let's come to the man who's still in the championship today, and he had the fast lap on pole position but just didn't get the race win. Dan, I got to say, your qualifying performance was absolutely stunning. I said it was better than your qualifying performance in Germany from a couple of years ago. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it was a lot better. The lap was just on point. Every apex was hit, breaking points, everything. It was a decent lap.
It was fantastic. In the race today, it looks like Pillars just had the pace advantage over you today. Was there anything you could do to stop this man today?
To stop him? No, to slow him down I had to finish 2nd with the fastest lap. So I done what I could do today. He was just on another level and faster.
Brilliant stuff. Well done, Dan, for 2nd position today. And last but no means least, FIFA Beefy also got driver of the day as well. And FIFA, I got to say, you kept it very clean and precise as well. And you had a different strategy to the rest of them out there. What are you feeling about today's race?
Happy. I didn't expect it. I had 9 seconds of penalties. I thought I was coming like P6 or something. So when I went to third, yeah, I was happy. I didn't think the mediums were going to last either, but then I checked them. And I thought, yeah, they can go to the end. So yeah. I just ran lean most of that medium run.
Absolutely wonderful stuff, guys. Brilliant stuff all round then. And we're going to wrap it up here tonight. We are back in action tomorrow for bronze as well. 7:30 UK time then, as our third and final stop in Montreal is going to be a classic. See you then. Goodbye.